Arsenal got extremely lucky.
I'll be right back.
A few scratches and bruises on his leg and arm.
Hey, on the bright side, he definitely did get his viral moment. I mean, all for the wrong reasons, but in hindsight, that was the best thing that could have happened to you. And now the whole internet knows you're an idiot. I think that's the only downside.
Following the incident, Arsenal was permanently banned from Kasan Kulin Zoo. The young TikToker later issued a public apology and admitted fault. His video, however, went viral, but many online viewers mocked him, while others condemned his reckless actions. Facing backlash,
She was about to eat his leg.
His social media accounts and never achieved the fame he had hoped for. The next case also involves a man who ignored safety rules in pursuit of a cool photo, but his lack of attention cost him much more than just a few sprays. Eric Solidaga Vista was never known as a risk taker or someone chasing viral fame. At 29, he was living with a serious mental illness and had traveled to the Philippines as a tourist, quietly exploring local attractions in hopes of improving his condition. One of the places marked on his travel list was the Cabug Island Mangrove and Wetland Park in Zamboanga.
I'm a lot, that's beautiful.
Sibugay. On April 28, 2025, Eric arrived at the site for what was meant to be a relaxing day of sightseeing, maybe a few animal photos to remember the trip. While walking along the park's trail, he noticed a fenced cage. Inside was what Eric assumed to be a crocodile statue, since the animal lay completely still, unmoving under the sun.
Anyone that has ever seen a crocodile or alligator knows 9 times out of 10, they don't be moving at all. An alligator could have his eyes closed. It could be a dead alligator.
Despite the enclosure being surrounded by a chain-link fence and marked with clear warning signs,
Oh, guys, I'm right back. Thirsty, I'm sorry.
Inside for a better photo.
And whoever this is was sticked up. It would have to be hard climbing fences when you're asking this guy.
Phone in hand, he approached the statue with confidence. Bystanders shouted at him to stop and get out.
He thought it was a statue?
But Eric didn't react. He smiled and posed beside the animal as if nothing was wrong. Then suddenly, the statue moved. The crocodile lunged, locking its powerful jaws around Eric's arm. Within seconds, it grabbed his leg as well and dragged him into the shallow water inside the enclosure. There, it began
all of this for a photo that was going to get you 30 likes. As humans, we got to really understand how lame it is to care about Instagram likes. Why do you care to be liked on the internet when you can be loved in real life? I promise you, bro, that extra additional 20 likes from people that don't necessarily care about you will not change your life in any way. Even if you did a good photo with a crocodile, how is that going to change your life in any way? What does that mean? 10 more people just double tap the screen? They'll stop being lame and start using our minds, bro.
brutal maneuver. The crocodile's infamous death roll. Eric screamed in pain as shocked tourists watched the horrifying scene unfold. Some reached for their phones to record, while others immediately ran for help. It was now clear.
Both parties are dumb.
The statue. It was alive, fully.
Both parties are dumb. Why would you record? Like, what's so entertaining? Oh yeah, he's about to die. Let's record it. What's so entertaining about that? Like, who? I don't understand why general people, like, why people do this in general. Why it's just really weird. Low-key barely did damage, but effing reball. Wait, I'm failing? I'm being a failure? I did not equip Maru? I want to at least stay up until I get all the Tail Beast scrolls. I mean, all the Tail Beast masks. That'd be cool.
A woman in Corpus Christi pulls into a gas station with tickets for coffee.
Let's see if he's in it for the money. Is he in it for the money? I forgot the song goes.
The banker called her.
He's in it for the money. He's in it for the money. In it for the money. Hey, Apollo, is in it for the money. Hey, Apollo, come get it for the money.
Right.
What creature even is this, if I may ask? Is it a cat?
Brown saltwater crocodile,
Confused.
roughly 4.5 meters long.
If people were telling him to stop, no, he knew it was a real animal. Because no one is going to tell you to stop if everyone can come to terms that it's a statue. And why the hell would anyone build an alligator statue where there could actually be alligators?
In the Leyland. According to park staff, she had no history of aggression. But this time, instantly, was over.
Eric remained trapped in the enclosure for a shocking
And he's
30
dead.
minutes.
Can I even really wait
Please scroll.
for not trying to come to his rescue? Because if my friend
Yes!
would
Ha! Tick tock tock, tick tock, tick tock tock, tick tock, tick tock tock, tick
If
tock.
I lose something and I know the reason why I lost the limb is because I'm saving your lame ass and you wanted an Instagram selfie, we're gonna have to just pray to God, bro. I'm gonna call 911. Hopefully they can solve the problem, but other than that, I am not getting injured for your dumb mistake.
While staff scrambled to figure out how to get him out. He was conscious the entire time, sitting in the water, screaming and crying in pain as blood spread around him. Eventually, one of the staff members threw a concrete object at Layla, striking her hard enough to force her to release Eric from her grip. Bonk! Emergency responders quickly arrived at the scene. On site, they worked to control the bleeding and stabilize Eric. He was then transported to Dr. George T. Coastal Memorial Hospital, where doctors treated deep
Alright, where do I want to go next?
Can you imagine?
So far I got a Pole, Maru, Happy,
Do y'all think doctors
Seven Tails, and Kurama. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 more. I think I want to get 2 tails.
What did he do? Yeah, he was looking for an Instagram photo, so he jumped up and went to take a selfie next to a crocodile that could have literally hit it in like. They had to laugh just a little bit.
and shoulder. The death roll had caused severe soft tissue damage, requiring more than 50 stitches. Despite the severity of his injuries, Eric survived. Crocodiles are among the most physically powerful predators in the animal kingdom, with bite forces exceeding 3,700 psi. But it's the death roll that's especially lethal. A spinning maneuver designed to rip limbs, shred muscle, and overwhelm prey within seconds. Had Layla spun long before bitten deep, the outcome.
So we're going to Hayes
The
Beach.
incident prompted a temporary shutdown of the park. Wildlife authorities launched.
Y'all ain't gotta shut it down over that dumbass. Maybe just build bigger fences so people don't mind, but you ain't gotta take it on everybody for his dumb mistake.
A full investigation and ordered new safety measures, including stricter fencing, more visible signs, and 24/7 surveillance. And while Eric continues to recover, both physically and mentally, the next case in our list brings more questions than answers, and it ends in the most tragic outcome possible.
Am I tripping or there's something crazily creepy about kangaroos?
For real.
See how, like, they stand like that? It's like they're defying their talent. There's something super creepy about a kangaroo standing upright. I don't know why. How are you standing that knowing you're that big on them little ass legs?
Lighthearted video filmed at 5-Star Farm in Loris, South Carolina on April 29, 2025 quickly made its way around the internet. In it, 52-year-old Eric Samuel Slate was seen playfully boxing a kangaroo named Jack inside the zoo's enclosure. 5-Star Farm. is
Nobody's in the server. Caught it. No, I take it back.
By Robert Slate, Eric's younger brother. But Eric wasn't just a visitor. He was actively involved in the day-to-day operations on the farm. He was known for his passion for animals and his hands-on care, especially with Jack, the kangaroo in the video. On the evening of May 9, 2025, just 10 days after the viral video was filmed, Robert Slate entered the kangaroo enclosure to check on the animal.
Why?
Close out the day's work. But instead of routine feeding or cleaning, he found something terrible.
Dang!
Like the body of his brother, Eric, lying inside.
I ain't gonna lie, that's perhaps one of the worst things that could ever happen. Imagine going out of your way to take care of animals and then you realize the same animals you've been taking care of are the same animals that ended your brother's life.
That's sad.
Which out to people that are vegan, but if I see a tiger, you think that a tiger's gonna be like, yo, you know what? Wait, that's a human right there. Let's be nice. All humans should survive. No, they're gonna view me as food. So not all animals should be able to live. I'm sorry.
In shock, Robert immediately called emergency services. Horry County Police and paramedics arrived at the scene shortly after and confirmed the worst. Eric was dead due to multiple blunt force injuries, with no weapons involved and no other people in the enclosure at the time. Police pointed to one obvious conclusion: an animal-related fatality. While kangaroo attacks on humans are extremely rare, with only 2 fatal incidents of
Like, why would you even square up to a kangaroo, bruh? I'm sorry, like, animal bows are different. Like, their force is different than us.
officially confirmed in nearly 90
Somebody's in the server.
They
Watch.
do have
Oh, okay.
specifically or overstimulated. Adult kangaroos are capable of delivering serious, even lethal damage. A kangaroo's kick can exceed 850 psi, with enough impact force to break bones or rupture.
All of this for some kangaroo coochie, bro.
What?
You going to war over some guns. Imagine fighting someone else because you're trying to smash a girl. Like, imagine if humans had the same like abilities as kangaroos. Like, nah, bro, you're not hating this. If I had to fight a man every time I wanted to smash someone, I'd be beaten.
True organs. While their hind leg swipe generates over 8,800 pounds.
Oh,
per
gotta go
foot
find
per
Sparky.
second,
I've never been
around
to this
6
village
times
before.
Stronger than an average untrained human. Given that Eric had a history of entering the kangaroo pen and roughhousing with Jack, and that he entered the enclosure again on the day of the accident, investigators suspected the kangaroo may have responded with deadly force.
That is not a kangaroo. That is a donkey. You are not fooling me.
Marking what could be the third confirmed fatal kangaroo attack on record.
No, that is a human cosplayed as a kangaroo. Why did it go up to the camera like that?
To this day, 5 Star Farm continues to operate, but Jack remains under quarantine for observation. And while the grieving slave family awaits final autopsy and toxicology results, our next case is far less mysterious, but no less terrible. On the morning of June 12, 2022, 23-year-old zookeeper Jose de Jesus was performing a routine task, feeding one of the Bengal tigers at a private zoo.
Tigers.
I wouldn't even do that yearly. You telling me I gotta wake up 6 a.m., drink my morning coffee, and then give a tiger my meat?
No.
Give a tiger its food? I'm okay.
Riser
Once I'm
Puma,
being paid
not
$500
Nerfroom.
a year, you're not seeing me do that.
See one over there.
Detroit, Mexico. But this time, instead of using special tools or safety equipment, Jose chose to feed the tiger directly through the bars of its enclosure.
Wait, is that not how you're supposed to do it? Oh, hell no, bro. If I gotta feed a tiger, I'm gonna have a 50-feet pole, that has like a plate. I'm gonna be getting her outside the whole building. I'm not even gonna be in the cage of the tiger. And only then will I attempt to put the food in there. And if I can't, that tiger is starving.
The risk decision, even for an experienced handler. At first, everything seemed calm. Jose approached the enclosure, called the tiger over, and the animal slipped.
Why are you putting your hand out near the tiger? Are you an idiot?
Slowly walked up, seemingly relaxed. He then reached.
I think I went to the wrong village.
I know the tiger wants some meat, but what meat is that tiger eating? You getting a little down there, my boy. I don't know if the owner is a little meaty himself.
Oh, wow. Okay. What, there's Gen 2 Sponge here too? What? Limbus. But that's in Chikai Valley, and that's in Tempest. What?
$15 million in counting health. Simparica Trio offers triple protection against heart disease, ticks and fleas, and intestinal worms, all with 1 monthly chew. This drug class has been associated with neurologic side effects, including seizures.
I didn't even come faster.
Without history of use,
Why does it do this every time I attempt to run on walls?
Sparkle and column? Remember all summer long, please nobody speak. We sang like that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Now,
Gently stroked the predator's neck. Then, in an instant, the tiger turned and clamped its jaws around Jose's right hand. The poor man screamed in agony, trying to pull away. The predator refused to let go, even attempting to drag him.
why would you do that? Why would you do that? I don't care. Unless it has a muzzle, you are not seeing me.
Further into the enclosure, Bengal tigers are among the endangered species, and at the same time, the most dangerous species on Earth, with a bite force of up to 1,050 psi, enough to crush bone and tear through muscles in seconds. And once a predator like this has you in its jaws,
I didn't know tigers had tongues that long. I think that's an interesting observation.
escaping without
Listen,
help
nigga.
is nearly impossible. But unfortunately, by the time zoo staff managed to rush in and free Jose, he had already lost a significant amount of blood. The man was transported to a local hospital and later transferred to a larger facility in Moreno due to the severity of his injury. His right hand was nearly destroyed, and doctors urgently recommended amputation to prevent infection and further blood loss. To make matters worse, Jose had
Bro, that has to be the worst news you gotta hear. Imagine you
Should buy Shiba Bosom.
and then the doctor comes in and says, you know what, we're gonna have to operate. That has to be one of the most saddest things to hear.
a pre-existing diabetes, which severely compromised his ability to recover, so immediate action is critical.
Please let this one
While
be it.
still conscious, Jose refused the amputation. Just 2 days after the attack, on June 14th, he suffered a fatal heart attack in the hospital.
Let me get this straight. You're willing to sacrifice your whole life instead of just getting a handout. You're willing to let your whole body diminish instead of just cut that window. If the doctor said I got to amputate my hand, go bro, don't even get the nearest one. I don't care. I want to live. That's my main priority. What is wrong with you?
And never recovered.
R.I.P.
Following the incident, Mexico's Federal Environmental Agency, PROFEPA, launched an investigation into the zoo's conditions and found the tiger was being kept improperly. What happens in Mexico?
Wait, do you have to give tigers like rabies shots? Bro, imagine you go to school to be like a vet and then you're just practicing on dogs and cats your whole entire career and the tiger shows up and they're like, oh, you gotta take care of this. I'm turning it down. Or also I'm charging like shit. That tiger has to be put to sleep.
No one was charged. Well, at the very least, the tiger was relocated to a licensed zoo in Morelia. Our last case also involves a feline predator, and while it's no less tragic, it's even more horrific, because this time, the entire shocking attack was captured on camera, until the very last breath. Lion Park, located in the Parkent district of Uzbekistan, is the region's first private petting zoo, home to 7 animal species. Its greatest pride was a group of 17 African lions.
17
You only got
lions.
2 good-looking lions, like this one with the hair, and then this one looks cool. Why do you need 17 for?
Lions. One of the zoo's longtime employees, 44-year-old F. Uruskalo, was no stranger to these predators. He had worked with them for years and was familiar with their routines. But on December 17, 2024, while on duty, Uruskalo made a fateful decision. Wanting to take advantage of the position and to impress his girlfriend, Uruskalo.
For the house.
Y'all rate baiting me. No, really not overtime that brother girl. You let a lion bite your ass because you wanted a girl to look at you like you're cool. There is no way we're sacrificing ourselves to lions just to impress the us. I'm literally. You y'all imagine how his girl felt afterwards? And she was either like sad as hell or looking at him like an idiot. One or the other.
Decided to film himself inside the lion enclosure. At around 5 a.m., he unlocked the gate and walked into the pen. With his phone recording, he approached 3 adult lions, calling one Simba. He stroked its mane and softly spoke to the animal, repeating, "Stay quiet, be calm." At first, the lions appeared relaxed and
Forget having 1 lion. Forget having 2 lions. There is 17 lions in there. What are you doing? Like, obviously, one of them is going to attack you.
non-aggressive. But several minutes later, one of the lions suddenly lunged. The video captured the shocking moment. It knocked Uruskalo down. Screams echoed as the lions attacked together, mauling him with claws and teeth.
Damn.
Uruskalo cried out, begged, and tried to calm them, but it was too late. The camera kept rolling until it finally faded to black, with his last words hauntingly being, "Be quiet."
No, it should have been, get your ass out. Get off me. Be quiet.
Nearly 4 hours later, at around 9 a.m., other zoo staff arrived to begin their shift.
No, I just want to know who retrieved the footage and decided it was smart to post it. I understand if it went through like law enforcement and then from law enforcement they leaked it out to the public so they could like tell everyone the cause of death, but I don't know. There's something a little weird about that.
What they found was the enclosure open and 3 lions missing. But inside the cage, they discovered something far worse: the partially eaten remains of their colleague. In the wild, lions are cooperative hunters.
No! You said there were 3 lions missing. Yeah, just shut down that thing. Yo, shout out to bro. We gonna find your dead body soon. You telling me there's 3 lions missing? I'm staying my black ass home.
They ambushed and killed in groups, using speed and brute force to overpower prey. In Uruskalov's case,
Please.
simply entering their space was enough to trigger their predatory response. Sudden movement proximity, or even eye contact, may have escalated the situation. And once the first lion announced the threats called, the criminal investigation was launched immediately. Police began an urgent search for the 3 escaped lions. After several hours of intensive effort, 2 lions were found and safely tranquilized.
Yo, shout out to the people who actually found those lions. I I would have been shitting my pants. Not even like strong shit. I'm talking straight diarrhea action.
But third one is deemed too aggressive and fatally shot by a local hunter. It's hard not to question. How is it that humans put wild animals behind bars, invade their space, and then kill predators for behaving like predators?
You can't even blame the lion for doing what lions do. It's just unfortunate. RIP to the man. You gotta be more smarter when you're around wild animals. And then you told me you did it for the That's what you do. You ain't even do it for the love of the game.
Well, the zoo director faced some consequences as well. He was charged for violating labor protection rules and sentenced to 3 years of restricted liberty.
What did
But
he
he was
do?
ultimately released in the courtroom. Yet, perhaps
That was not
most
his
shocking of all, despite the tragedy, no new safety regulations or reforms were ever passed. If it seems like zoos are the safest way to observe wild animals, and that bars, fences, or cages make any actions risk-free, these stories prove otherwise. Since 1990, nearly 761 people have been injured in zoos worldwide, and 157 have lost their lives.
Yo, don't tell me that, because I actually do want to visit a zoo soon. Like, now you're scaring me, bro.
Terrible cases we've covered today are part of that chilling statistic, because predator instincts don't disappear in captivity, and unfortunately, reckless human behavior hasn't either. What is your attitude towards zoos and the enclosure of exotic animals?
Bro, can I please just find it?
I think we should only help out animals that need to be helped. At least, if you're gonna have animals, have like maybe like 2 or 3 of them. Like, there's no point where you have 50 monkeys in one cage, bro. Now you're just doing the most. You're hoarding everything. Let most of them be out in the jungle or wherever they're supposed to roam. Anyway, YouTube, let me know what's the craziest thing you've ever seen at a zoo. What do y'all think about any of these best RIP to all of them, of course. Make sure you guys subscribe. We're up to 900K. Catch us on Twitch, all that good stuff.
Our family faces dangers that has threatened our planet. What is that? In a cabin here.
Are we safe?
I don't know.
Not to give it up.
We will protect you. Light 'em up, Johnny!
I can't wait to see Fantastic Four.
Get a real firearm.
Kids have been doing the Orbeez challenge until someone lost their life.
What is going to YouTube today? We're going to be looking at the drunkest TikToks right there. We're going to talk more. Alright, apparently there's so much right
I might got look up the location. I can't find it. I'm sorry. Ryzen, yep, I'm back here, Ryzen Akuma. Looking up that location immediately.
Among local police departments.
What?
Most people treated innocent bystanders with water power.
Why?
Let me go ahead and start walking into somebody's water pellet. I'm tuning into the national. Now we're tired.
Don't pee your pants for TikTok.
I'm not even 20 seconds into this video. In the line of butter series I'm hearing. What am I hearing?
This is perhaps one of the dumbest challenges next to eating Tide Pods that I've ever witnessed.
TikTok is not reality to real life, so there's real consequences for some of those things that go on there.
Morality at the cost of you looking like an idiot is not worth it.
TikTok created the internet's worst challenges, and as of right now, TikTok could potentially be beating the awards for the best TikTok trends ever setting the user. It's insane. And the goal this year is to give you guys double the amount of videos without sacrificing. To do that, we gotta keep growing. So 75% of you guys would subscribe, and it would mean the world to me if you did. And I promise to do my very best. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome.
Okay,
The Pee in Your Pants Challenge. People,
I've never seen this on TikTok. And I'm a pretty chronic TikTok watcher. Who is peeing their pants for fun?
but usually join TikTok but the Pee in Your Pants Challenge was different because it was just embarrassing. It began in April 2020 when a guy named Liam Wire filmed.
Oh, apparently don't pee your pants. I'm not supposed to call this. The code era probably created some of the most dumbest things known to mankind.
Filmed himself. people were.
Oh, I was gonna say he's not here. No, he's right here. I'm kind of retarded. I'm sorry.
This meant no scrolling on their phone, no music, no reading. They would just sit there for hours staring straight ahead. They called it the raw dog challenge.
The first thing you did that. Okay. In the world, but I
Please spawn your school first try.
Look at that and be like, no, bro. And some people are gonna think that there's.
In it for the money. I'm in it for the money.
It's not funny. It's just weird.
It seemed like an interesting endurance test. Some called it the ultimate dopamine detox. But as always, TikTok took it way too far. Participants added extra.
I'm stuck.
Water, no snacking, or eating. The more extreme it got, the more people tried to outrun each Extreme raw dog slice.
Alright, I'm getting quick, and I'm stuck.
Who could last the longest? Even celebrities, rappers, and athletes joined posting their own entries. Before long, the challenge even had an unofficial score.
I'm sorry. I don't understand how many people I can't figure out a walk. A lot of you gotta be.
And since it turned into a contest, people started cheating. Some actually raw dog fight, while others just faked it. Like Nathan Dog posted his TikTok training to raw dog in 9-hour flight, but there was one problem. The airline he flew didn't even have flights that long. Then there was comedian Danny Duffy. He said that he raw dogged an 18-hour flight, but his clip was up.
That's good though. Honestly, I feel like you should fake it, bro. Anyone that's actually staring at a chair for 9 hours, you're demented. It's actually like really helpful.
It's really a joke, but not everyone picks up on this joke. So these fake videos inspire more people to actually participate. And that's where the real problem started. Because most TikTokers didn't understand that this challenge could actually be dangerous. Taking long flights without food or water increases the risk of dehydration.
Girl? I did not know that.
At sea level, the average humidity of the air is 40%.
I'm dead. Yep, kill yourself. Spamming eyeball.
If your body isn't used to that level of humidity, you get rapidly dehydrated.
With dehydration, it wasn't the only danger.
So not only are you dehydrating yourself, but just sitting in the cabin, your blood is also losing a lot of oxygen by breathing in such thin air constantly.
Airplane air is way thinner than what we breathe on the ground. That's why people feel lightheaded or exhausted after a long flight. The lower oxygen levels make it harder for the body to function properly. But most TikTokers didn't understand the risks, so they kept going. Luckily, the media stepped in just in time. One article read cities are doing this on planes and it's dangerous. They ripped the raw dogging challenge apart, listing all the ways it could go wrong.
I gotta see a time where it did go wrong, because any person with at least a couple functioning brain cells will realize, as I'm doing this challenge, if I'm feeling a little weird, then I'm gonna go and drink some water. You know, because at the end of the day, no one is gonna know if you actually raw dogged or not, unless you have like a time-lapse video of them looking at you for the duration of the flight.
Other media personalities called the trend pointless.
Bruh.
Being present in the space you are physically occupied, even that we now call a trend.
This news outlet criticized and pointed out the dangers. The challenge started losing momentum. And by the end of 2024, TikTokers abandoned the raw dogging challenge and moved on to the next viral trend.
Have any of y'all seen this trend in the US? If you go make this trend,
Wrong.
and I feel like
Wrong
don't
move.
take trends too seriously.
Finally.
We already know that TikTok is full of terrible health advice, but this next challenge might be the dumbest health trend ever. The beer tanning challenge.
Huh?
The beer tanning trend probably started because of a shocking claim that spread on TikTok. In July 2023, a TikToker posted a video warning that using sunscreen was actually dangerous.
Literally rubbing cancer into our skin. The District of New York followed a report by online pharmacy Valid.
What?
Which detected high levels of benzene in several brands and batches of sunscreen.
What?
He explained that some sunscreens contain benzene, which is a chemical suspected of causing cancer. That was all people needed to hear. The video went viral, getting over 5 million views. Viewers were scared, but they were also confused. If sunscreen was dangerous, what were people supposed to use instead? TikTok had an answer: beer. Barely a month after the sunscreen controversy blew up, a new TikTok trend started. It was called the Beer Tanning Challenge. People would film themselves rubbing beer all over their skin, then lie out in the sun.
That's not good for you,
The
gang.
hot in beer boosted melanin in the skin, speeding up the tanning process.
So we're all just being idiots. Not only are you musty, but you're gonna go outside with everyone out there smelling your must and let the sun burn your beer smell and have it even more smell. Apparently being disgusting is a trend.
Oh, what's happening here? Yeah, this guy's pouring beer all over himself here. This is the latest trend on TikTok, beer tanning. At first, it sounded like a crazy theory, but soon people started posting before and after shots showing off their deep tans. Some even swore beer worked better than sunscreen. Within weeks, the beer tanning challenge became very popular. Videos with the hashtag.
How is one of your legs blacker than the other? I would really like to know.
Like your original skin color. People are just like the skin color.
So they just do this to become black. New method, guys.
Thousands of views, more people join the channel.
New method of turning black. Bear tan.
Shut down this dermatologists hated the beer tanning challenge and called it downright dangerous. For starters, the science behind beer tanning was completely bogus.
Apparently, the hogs in the beard stimulate the production of melatonin to change to enhance, but there's absolutely no one.
Beer has zero SPF, which means it doesn't protect the skin from sunburn like proper
Block.
with sunscreen.
He broke my glass like a king.
Swapping sunscreen for beer only is
Yo, how bad is skin cancer? I'm black, bro. I would
Block this. Even though it's gonna break the block. Boom.
as the media covered the dangers of the backlash grew. Eventually, TikTok stepped in. They banned the beer challenge and started removing any videos promoted. And since TikTok was suppressing the beer tanning challenge, it gradually disappeared. This next
Why don't we ban the account that spread that initial information?
trend caused nothing but pain.
No, for real.
But that's exactly what made people want to try it. No poop to us.
No poop.
Imagine all the criminals that are just collecting and not letting it go. All it is. If you don't poop for a long time, this is natural. Because I'm thinking to myself, there's no way you can go over it.
The No Poop July challenge is as ridiculous as it sounds. The goal is simple. Don't use the toilet for the entire month of July. Every year, hundreds of people join in posting TikTok videos to show how long they can last. But before we find out if anyone actually pulled it off, there's a bigger question. How did such a ridiculous
1.4 mil.
trend even start? In July 2020, a TikToker named OK Kron posted a video looking extremely uncomfortable. The text on the screen read, "Day 1 of No Poop July." OK Kron's face said it all. He was struggling to hold it in, but the caption made it even funnier. It said, "Can I make it till the end?" It was a bold question, and thousands wanted to see if OK Kron could actually laugh.
Here's the problem with TikTok, bro. I've noticed a lot of people don't know what a joke is. Anything that is seen as a joke is taken as fact. It literally says funny me.
His video received 84,000 likes, and the comments were full of people cheering him on. As the days passed, OK Kron kept the suspense going with dramatic updates. Each new video showed him looking worse, sweat pouring down his face, pained facial expressions, and lots of squirming. The more uncomfortable he looked, the more excited viewers got.
I'm actually curious, what happened to the voice is very like now. Offer some TikTok like.
Viewers weren't sure if he was kidding or if he was really holding it in for a month.
Wait, can you die from not pooping?
But it was entertaining regardless. Then, just as July was coming to an end, there was a twist.
You might know him as a kid who hasn't pooped for 26 days, but today he found proof that he lied.
July, did you fit? Yeah. Obviously, I've been in the hospital.
For this
Do y'all need to expose them for that? Was that not inherently obvious? If anything, I'm glad that it's fake. Why would you want that shit to be real?
simple, funny video, OK Kron admitted he failed the challenge. Up until this moment, No Poop July wasn't even a trend. It was just one guy doing something dumb for laughs. However, it got people wondering if it was possible to go an entire month without pooping. They were determined to find out. TikTok quickly dug up a real-life case that made the challenge seem possible. It was about a man who held it in for a very long time.
And while he was waiting behind bars, Lamar went on a strike. He simply refused to go to the bathroom altogether. He didn't go to the bathroom for literally 47 straight days.
Suddenly, No Poop July didn't seem like it was just a joke. So by July 2021, 1 year after the original challenge, it started trending again. This time, more TikTokers joined in, posting videos of themselves trying to hold it in. And some of them were taking the challenge seriously. Even OK Kron came back for the 2021 challenge, posting daily updates just like before. Then in July 2022, No Poop July returned for the third year in a row.
I haven't seen it.
The doctors realized this was becoming an annual event and they were horrified. Worried doctors begged people not to try the challenge.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Imagine having an influx of patients talking to you about Dr. Class or I haven't pooped in such a long time. I would make a PSA too. I don't get paid enough to look at it.
This is not normal because if you're not having a bowel movement every day, it could lead to abdominal pain, gas, bloating, and others.
But instead of dying down, it exploded. The 2023 edition of No Poop July.
Okay, I think I seen the 2023 one for sure.
Dude, it's July. You know what that means? I don't know what that means. Look on TikTok. It's July.
The 2024 edition crossed 100.
Yeah, 2024. I didn't see it. Well, I didn't see it in 2024 for sure. I was promised I didn't. Yo, my HP!
To everyone's surprise, he announced that he donated about $1,000 to the papers of various charities.
You know what? I'm gone.
Something positive came out of this dumb challenge.
I'm actually gone. Gang, 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 run.
Probably will.
Wait, should I check out TikTok, see if No Poop July's back? I will after.
November, nobody. I don't think anyone's ever thought of that.
It was mostly done by women, and it backfired in the worst way possible. The Silhouette Challenge.
This is the one with the red light, right? Oh my.
This is the one with the ladies, like, being in shadow, pretending, like, when they were naked by the shower. I know, people hack that. How do Gooners even achieve such hacking capabilities?
Hundreds of women took part in this challenge, but they had no idea that this trend would make them targets for creeps and trolls on the internet. The challenge started in January 2021 when a TikToker named Yoelise posted a video with a unique editing style. The silhouette effect with the red background was amazing. Within hours of
Block.
people
I missed.
They wanted to make their own version. Yoelise listened. That same day, she posted a step-by-step guide.
Okay, but she's not naked type shit.
They just needed to use a red filter from Snapchat or TikTok. Before long, TikTokers everywhere were trying it out. They called it the Silhouette Challenge. Even celebrities as well.
So turn on the light in your back, okay? Go into your door arch, okay?
But here's the thing. So at first, if it wasn't like girls being naked, then why did they start going naked, turning me, like making it naked?
You don't care about this challenge?
Really not.
I remember seeing someone like Levi. Levi is like 4'3", by the way. I will say this.
Levi's 4'3".
But like most TikTok trends, it didn't take long for things to go wrong. Because the challenge was showing off body shapes, the participants wore as little as possible. Others wore nothing at all. After all, the red filter was
I'm sorry, if you're a raw dog in this challenge, you're an idiot.
to hide a room shadow. But it turns out the filter wasn't foolproof. Before long, some freaks online figured out how to remove the filter. And once they took it off, they could see everything in the challenge. Suddenly, tutorials on how to remove the red filter.
Owners do anything.
Everywhere. And since there were hundreds of silhouette challenge videos online, creeps were having a field day. People
Oh, they Gooners.
subreddits like silhouette filter to share silhouette challenge.
Wow. They're catching these like Pokemon cards.
Share silhouette videos.
They catching these like Pokemon. Yo, you got that red silhouette? Yes, I sure do. What you trying to trade for it?
Or at least wear clothes while
So if you're going to make a video as part of the silhouette challenge, keep your clothes on. People are attempting to revert the videos back to their normal coloring, and that can reveal things that viewers aren't supposed to see.
For some, the warnings came in time, but for others, it was too late. Their videos had been downloaded, altered, and shared to creeps across the internet.
Sad.
TikTok tried to help by banning the filter removal tutorials and shutting down accounts spreading them. But instead of being relieved, some victims blamed TikTok for not acting sooner.
Yo, whoever even made that video about how to remove it, you're actually evil. I'm praying on your downfall.
The Chase Bank glitch.
If you think you could trick a bank with their resources and the amount of money they got to track down everyone that's done,
You're good.
an idiot.
On September 1st, 2024, TikTokers were buzzing with excitement. The reason was because they thought they were to get free money, thousands of dollars completely. They called it the Chase Bank glitch.
So what people would do, they would write a big check that they didn't have the money for, a bad check, and then they would immediately take money away from an ATM.
Just like the guy explained, they would write a check for more money than they had in their Chase Bank account and deposit it. These checks were fake because their accounts had no money to back them up. Then, before the bank could catch on, they would rush to an ATM and withdraw the check's full amount.
Okay, this looks like a skit, but you gotta be an idiot to actually figure out a method that works and tell the whole world that you're doing it. Like you wouldn't be caught.
In other words, they were scamming the bank for free cash. As word spread, the hashtag Chase Bank glitch started trending on TikTok. Within hours, people were lined up at Chase Bank ATMs eager to cash in.
No, a set is heavy. It's large up.
Could y'all not make it any, more obvious?
No, this is not the
There was one small problem. The so-called glitch was actually a crime. As more people heard about the trend, financial experts explained why the Chase Bank glitch was actually check fraud.
Make no mistake, in every sense of the word, this is check fraud. You are knowingly writing fake checks. And to make it even worse, you are committing a felony against yourself.
Anyone caught committing check fraud can face huge fines. Prison
Like, why
time,
record it?
a lifetime ban from opening a bank account.
Damn.
Chase will alert every other bank that you try to go to. And you may possibly never be able to get a you don't have to try
But despite all the warnings, the Chase Bank glitch kept trending on TikTok. Some posted screenshots of their bank balances as
$9 million! What happened to not making it burn? You would think they're not gonna try to hog someone down that has $9 million? If you're gonna do this glitch and try to be like under the Matrix, maybe at most $10,000. $9 million! They're gonna track you down.
proof that it worked. Others saw a chance to cash in, selling step-by-step
I
guides.
will also say this to anyone that looks at people on the internet that they have the method and $10,000 and they're talking about, oh, tap in with me, I'll show you the method. Buddy, I'm sorry to tell you this. You're in the method.
No, exactly, gang. Oh, I forgot to turn off my mode. I gotta let it charge.
They want your money to actually make money because the money they have is clearly fake.
Guides or charging fees to teach people how to pull it off. But it was only a matter of time before the bosses at Chase Bank realized TikTokers were stealing from them. And when they did,
They should really
were
sue
furious.
TikTok.
On September 2nd, barely 24 hours after the glitch went viral, Chase Bank shut it down.
This was in
Bank
2024, what the
released a
heck?
statement saying the glitch was fixed. Fake checks wouldn't work anymore. And just to make things clear, they added, depositing a fraudulent check and withdrawing the funds from your account is fraud, plain and simple. Now everyone who took advantage of the glitch was panicking, and they had good reason to be worried because Chase Bank was coming after them. By October 2024, the bank started suing those who used the glitch. One person stole $335,000 during the glitch. Chase didn't stop there. They identified accounts that deposited those fake checks, froze them, and took back whatever money was left. Most of those accounts ended up with negative account balances
Damn.
with a bunch of zeros.
Damn.
What happens if you don't pay it back for a long time? What if you just started doing it? Because a lot of times with debit cards, isn't it just credit cards are the ones where it's like, oh, it's messed up. Oh, it's just their credit score is fried.
Man, there's really so many type things next day was supposed to be bad.
Negative 31K. You're good, gang.
Why do you spend all that amount at once?
Again, those who thought they stole free money were charged and bad. This bank glitch became a brutal lesson. Don't commit a financial crime because someone on TikTok told you it was.
Wait,
This next
zero,
round, it took
Q.
I feel like with scammers, when you're playing with them, like, as soon as you find
an ordinary reaction to turn it into something idiotic.
Run away.
Cereal challenge.
Cereal? What is this? Sign me up. You're eating cereal? I got you, fam.
with this,
Two people had to participate. One person lay down with their mouth wide open, while the other poured.
See, now this Loki looks interesting. Up, down.
And the second person had to eat the cereal straight from their mouth using a spoon. For that challenge, the person on the bottom had to keep their mouth open while the second person ate from it.
Oh, no.
Their mouth. long enough to complete the
No! No! I'm thinking you eating cereal? Like, I bet, let's see how much cereal you eat. No! You're not! Oh my god, I am disgusted. I am bewildered. Puzzled. Confuddled, whatever it's called. Disgusting.
Reach the cereal challenge spread faster. And it's your time.
Is this James Charles?
No, I'm not doing this shit with my siblings, bro. At the end of the day, that's your saliva that is floating up in your mouth. I'm not doing this with anybody, but especially not my siblings.
Some even decided to involve their pets in the challenge.
What?
And you do not want to see those videos.
Bro, I hate when people act like pets don't be like licking themselves.
Licking their balls, like cool Jack. Like, come on now.
People who tongue down their pets who actually concern me.
The challenge was
Actually,
also
people who have
very
sex with animals
risky.
concern me.
Lying down, inhaled milk or cereal, they could legitimately choke and suffocate. This trend was all risk with zero reward.
Yeah.
Luckily, the cereal challenge
No,
didn't last long.
it's
But
all
while it was
risk.
trending,
It's all risk and all nastiness. You don't gain any reward. It's literally just disgusting.
it proved people will do just about anything for
To go viral.
fame, even if it puts their health on the line. This next trend was one of the dumbest and most dangerous ones out there.
I thought it was gonna be the corn
The
drill.
Orbeez challenge.
Oh.
In 2022,
Like the
Orbeez
corn that drills
challenge was
in your mouth?
so notorious that people threatened to arrest anyone caught doing it. To understand why, you first need to know what Orbeez are. Orbeez are tiny beads that swell up when soaked in
I rock with Orbeez. What's wrong with this?
water.
There are 1 million Orbeez in this box.
Low-key.
It's literally so satisfying.
Orbeez, I watched all them Orbeez videos.
Them, and some people even use them to relieve stress. But
Yeah.
in 2022, someone had a reckless idea. They started loading Orbeez into toy guns and shooting them like tiny water balloons.
Why?
Except they weren't aiming them at friends. They were targeting random strangers.
That's actually kind of OP though. And then nobody's gonna know where they're at. I feel like if I was like a teenager, this is some type of shit I would do. I don't know if I would do it to a complete stranger though. Probably.
This is something I do like when I was like 9 years old.
About 210 feet per second.
And then it got even worse. People began freezing the Orbeez.
Oh, those bullets. Those bullets at this point.
Why does this look good though? If nobody told me that this was a toy, I'd probably like lick it. But no, this is unacceptable. You're just being an asshole at this.
So instead of bursting on impact, the frozen Orbeez hit like rubber bullets. That made them a lot more painful and more dangerous.
These toy guns, well, they can really actually replicate a real firearm.
By March 2022, the Orbeez challenge was
Let
out
me find out. Shit, I got slimed out by an Orbeez toy. That's not the way I'm gonna go out.
of control. TikTokers across the country were
They putting attachments on it. I'm dead. Rap style. Prison. Oh, yeah. I don't want it.
Concern among local police departments. It involves
Rap style. Let me check if that's in here.
with water fountains.
Police cracked down hard, arrested 22 who participated.
Rap style.
In one case, 14 were arrested. They were charged with disorderly conduct, harassment, and reckless endangerment.
Okay, gang. Bet I'll teleport to it. Oh, it's right here. Wait. I don't know where I am. Fuck.
Arrests would scare people off. But they didn't. Kids kept doing the Orbeez challenge until someone lost their life.
Damn. I really didn't think nobody was gonna die.
On June 2nd, 2022, a group of teenagers Orbeezed some guys playing basketball. These weren't the kind of guys to laugh at all. A fight broke out, and by the time it was over, one of the basketball players lost his life. He was only 17. When the media reported the case, people finally realized how serious this challenge was.
It doesn't take Jimmy Neutron to figure that out.
Worse consequences for some of those things that go on there.
That was the final straw. Police cracked down harder on the Orbeez challenge. In Kentucky, Mayor banned water pellet toys completely. Walmart, Target, and Amazon pulled Orbeez from their shelves. Even Spin Master.
You can get them at Trader's Village.
Rescue. They released a statement saying they had no affiliation with the gel toys and that their Orbeez products were not intended.
Real. They real ones.
But after all this, the Orbeez challenge didn't
Y'all see someone die, y'all like, you know what? Let me get my hands on one of those.
They're like, oh yeah, that's so tough. Okay. It.
Just remember, people
Trust me, and people will do anything to fit in.
critical mentor.
I think moral of the story, bro.
Don't be dumb. Moral of the story, just don't be a dumb idiot.
Just let me know which TikTok trend you thought was the dumbest. Make sure you guys join us on Twitter. Please subscribe, folks.
Yeah, I need to look for a new video. How deaf to you? No. Yo, my HP! I'm gone. I'm out.
Because it's side effect. Or going back.
Next video, what is it? Okay, when cops run people over, horrible reality of struggle
With
moves.
the YouTube channel, we're going to be looking at the beauty of struggle meals coming up online. What is your craziest struggle meal? For me, it was toothpaste with bread.
What? Mine was spaghetti with bread. I'm just playing. It was literally, I made it myself. Ground beef with spaghetti sauce. Amazing. 10 out of 10. Definitely would smash that again. I mean, eat that again. You know what I mean.
Let's get started. All right.
I'm not saying that I'm going to book a Rams or something, but I'm pretty sure if Remy and I got to a cook-off, he'd wipe the floor with me like a slipper wet. I'm very capable of my own way. I'm definitely going to put the chef next to that. Especially that's for us. He was trying to take
Low-key, anybody's out cooking chef from Total Drama Island.
A hot dog with bread.
I'm sure not bad. I was like, that was.
Yeah, if you didn't have any hot dog bread, just get the regular bread. Yeah, that ain't even. That's not even a struggle meal, bro. Block. Block.
I put air conditioner on bread. Microwave.
That was. I still do that. I don't know how to work a stove. Only thing I know how to cook is spaghetti. Oh shit. I'm out. Well, now I can look for a new video. Wax or Saul's the GOAT, but not more of a GOAT thing. They added me to Forsaken. Oh yeah, Louis Gamer Cool.
Every and all Louis Gamer Cool men rejoice after years of silence from Louis Gamer Cool. He has finally made a comeback, not on his YouTube channel, but in one of the biggest Roblox games ever. I have just found out that he is a character in Forsaken. Okay, wait a second. You are banned by Spirit or moderators for 7,000 days.
Damn.
You using out the voice force to actually take it again. What happened? This has happened to me before. Okay, so maybe this whole deal is off now. This is a really bad start to my...
Okay, let it be the mask and we're out. Imagine it's the actual Spirit.
What do you think I did? I didn't do any of it.
Surge, my nigga.
Almost every ult I have is burned. I'm just on my main account. Alright, I did not know that they were doing this, but Hayden just told me about this. So if you go to purchasable skins, there is
Louis Gamer Cool.
123 real life dollars. Insufficient funds. Alright, he's not cheap, I'll tell you that much. Alright, we are now Louis Gamer Cool, top 10 reasons why I hate noobs. You know, that was a noob. Yeah. No, that is not.
Oh, that's not.
Louis Gamer Cool hates noobs. Why am I a noob? I clicked Louis Gamer Cool. This is not okay. I can't be seen like this. Surely I just equipped it wrong, and this isn't a big prank they're doing to torture Louis Gamer Cool after all the activism he's done to be hateful towards noobs.
I'm 100% convinced Louis Gamer Cool is racist towards noobs. And I don't blame him. I'm not that, and I saying I'm not like rating things I put in my cat. TikTok challenge. I was just trying to type up rating videos, like tier list videos. Rating things I put in my cat. Yo, I'm not gonna hold you. It really does get to a point. Rating things I put in my cat. Rating Pixar movies? Bet. We watching that. 44 minutes. Then after that, we're going straight to DreamWorks. Then after that, we're going straight to Illumination. Nothing's changing my 9. I will release a tier list video soon with Pixar movies.
Every Pixar.
Soon, I will do Pixar
all
movies. My own.
26 of them. Jesus, this is gonna be a long video. So, unlike the Illumination video, I'll actually be ranking these movies by release date instead of picking them by random. Obviously, these are all my opinions, so don't try to find my address and send an assassin to try and murder me. Also, here's a spoiler warning. With all of this said, strap in your seatbelts, grab some popcorn, and see you in infinity.
And beyond. And Lightyear sucks. Lightyear is dead. It sucks. It's trash. It's horrible. Toy Story SSSS plus tier. Cars SSSS plus tier. Coco SSSS plus tier.
Toy Story 1.
Go.
Not wasting any time, I'm just going to tell you that this movie is amazing. This movie is just so timeless, and the humor really lands even 27 years later. So the film is revolved around this group of
First CGI movie, I think.
And alive when he's not around. Andy then gets a new toy for his birthday, Buzz Lightyear, who is the Space Ranger toy with built-in play features. Buzz Lightyear also believes that he is a real Space Ranger, and is oblivious to the fact that he is a toy.
You are a toy. Disney, please don't copyright me.
Obviously jealous when Andy starts playing with him. So, he does the only logical thing and tries to kill Buzz by knocking out the window. Then, with Woody and Buzz stranded in the pizza planet, Buzz gets distracted and tries to transform until they land at the spaceship. They then get picked up by Sid, who is the main villain of the movie, and honestly one of my favorites. I really just love the fact that one of the funniest and most memorable Pixar villains is literally just a normal kid who watches Shindo toys.
He's gonna become a doctor.
He shows himself and finds out the sad truth that he is a sad toy. Woody then teams up with Sid's toys to literally traumatize him to make an escape. They then use Sid's rocket to fall with style and land safely in Andy's car. And yeah, that's it. This movie's only 1 hour and 20 minutes long, and I really don't have a lot of nitpicks with this movie. The humor was great, the animation still holds up, which is surprising considering this is the first 2D animated movie ever made. It honestly aged like 5 months. That's it.
Bug's Life, I low-key didn't like it. Didn't like it.
I could say I was surprised by it. Well, mostly because of how low my expectations were. A Bug's Life follows the life of this actor, Trick, who is an adventurer in ant colony. However, things start looking very good for him as they get threatened by a gang of deadly grasshoppers to sell food for them. The grasshopper guy wasn't that bad of a villain in my opinion. His main motive for being evil is pretty much that he's secretly scared of the ants because of their advantage in numbers. Flick then gets a brilliant idea to go searching for pure fighters to fend off the grasshoppers. He finds these mistakes from warriors, which they obviously find. There's even this German cancer killer, which I'm pretty sure is
I'm getting beat.
So he brings them back into the ant colony and just finds out the truth about them.
Please. Like, not even for the spirit. Yes, I'm not Dwight and Eisenberg. TT talk. I'm not Die and Eisenberg.
And then the ants decide to attack.
Gotta let gang know.
One of my favorite scenes is definitely the one near the end when the leader grasshopper gets fed to the baby birds. Yeah, that's probably traumatized the kid. Anyways, happy ending. Yeah, a Bug's Life is probably one of the more mediocre but better.
There she's fine. I just need 3 more. She walk past the rest. Real lady. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just need 1, 2, 3 more, and I want to get Nimbus, Vinland, Tempest.
Explore the Toy Story universe even further.
Let's go to Nimbus.
It kind of looks like a Lester from GTA 5. As it turns out, Woody is an extremely rare and valuable collector's toy, and he came with 2 other toys, Jessie and the Prospector. After the toy gang, they go on an adventure to try and rescue Woody. I also love the scene where Buzz gets imprisoned by the fake Buzz who thinks that he's a real Space Ranger, so Buzz has to prove that he was a real Buzz.
Character development.
Oh, man. I thought I'm absurd in this movie. He was kind of a one-note villain, but he's usually the funniest part of the movie. Anyway, so without taking Woody and everyone else to Japan for them to get destroyed, Woody decides to escape, but not before the Prospector turns on him, revealing him the twist villain. They then reach the
Pretty good. Toy Story 2, pretty good. Wouldn't watch again because it was ruined the first time I watched it. Everything like fine wine. Generally remember everything.
So, S tier. But first, sponsor time. Are you watching this video on the internet?
People here? Alright, bet. Chilling. Track. Right, and I sweat.
Hackers trying to steal your data. Look over there. It's a hack, but wait, this video is sponsored by VPN. Atlas VPN, a licensed digital.
Annoyed.
VPN stands for very powerful software. Just a few clicks of a button and your computer is basically forced off.
Congratulations.
Actually, Atlas VPN isn't as good because technically... Are you tired of those pesky cookies stealing data from you? Well, with Atlas VPN, just say no. You can't watch a show on Netflix because it's taking long? Well, just hop countries with a press of a finger. But wait, what if you have multiple devices? Well, Atlas has got you covered. Once you get Atlas VPN, you can use it on unlimited devices. So what are you waiting for?
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting bacon when you need Batman's.
Real talk though, Atlas is a pretty solid VPN. So get it.
So I need to find a ramen. Gang, I'm stuck. Okay, whatever is happening right now, I am oblivious to the fact.
There is no doubt about that. I mean, we just love how they turned the simple concept of monsters to a whole damn movie.
I love it. Monsters Inc. SSSS plus tier. Gang.
After the end of one of their shifts, Sullivan discovers the door left by Randall. He then accidentally lets out the kid in the door in his room, so the rest of the movie is basically them trying to get him back in the door without other people else. The next day they take it to the factory with a monster costume and oh god! So apparently Randall has been working on a few scaring the thing. Ooh, plot twist! Martin was in on it the whole time. And then they get found out that Baggage to get him away. So Sully and Mike argue for a bit, but then Sully decides to escape through one of the doors. They do this whole sequence where they get chased by Randall in this room with seemingly infinite doors. Sully then finally brings Blue back to her room as one of these comes in, but fortunately for him, it's a trap. And then she gets arrested, and the end. Overall, movie's pretty solid. Mike and Sully are usually the highlight of the movie for me. The way they talk to each other really make it seem like they've been friends for years.
They really have. Monsters University. I hate how Monsters University did Sully.
Finding Nemo.
No.
It's not exactly mediocre, but at the same time, it's not as good.
How is your sequel better than your actual movie?
So anyways, the plot of this movie. After his wife and all of his kids are brutally murdered, Marlin must have his only son.
The disabled one, by the way.
But then Nemo gets caught by a fisherman, and now Marvin must go on an epic journey to find him along with Dory, who was a mentally charged transferred into an aquarium in a dentist's office, and he is a fish that has to try to get him out. Unfortunately, the dentist wants to get Nemo to refuse to show him previous success. So then Nemo decides to play dead and almost destroy the charges, because Marvin and Dory are alive for some time, and literally for the first time in the anyway, so then Nemo and Marvin reunite, and that's pretty much the entire movie. It's not horrible by any means, it's just kind of stale in comparison to other Pixar movies, but I can definitely still see what people like.
Alright, Octopod Gen 3. The Incredibles.
The Incredibles is such a solid.
I love it! S plus tier.
This soundtrack slaps. Good job, Michael Giacchino. Anyway, so The Incredibles.
I did not like Incredibles 2. Low-key mid, the villain was dumb, everything about it was dumb. I think it was a movie more about the kids. Is this a dog?
It turns out that Mr. Incredible's #1 fanboy syndrome was behind it all. His plan being to kill every superhero with his robot and a group of superhero in the fucking eye.
He's basically Iron Man, by the way.
So well done. It still gives you still whenever you watch it.
Block that so I can get the black. Yeah, there you go. Rah! He's using ink to his advantage.
Then find out about Bob being a superhero, and along with the help of Violet and Dash, tried to save him. Then Arata goes social like the gods by crushing them with their fire. With everyone escaping, they go back to the city and stop Syndrome's robot once and for all. But then another plot twist. Syndrome kidnaps Jack. In the end, it didn't really matter as Bob literally throws a car at Syndrome, which causes his case.
Jack gets his powers.
So anyways, yeah, that was The Incredibles. What a wild movie. Banging soundtrack, and best of all, Frozone, I love it.
Super suit? You're wearing it.
Great humor, great characters. S tier.
Still laugh every time I look at it. I mean, every time oh, your cars! I love it. I had all the toys growing up. What do you mean?
It's the same level of Finding Nemo, where it's not a bad movie. It's just sort of mediocre.
Wow. Game?
Oh, favorite dream car life you must be experienced the Broom Car and Dream. So anyways, Lightning McQueen gets stranded in a rundown deserted town called Radiated Springs after his race. He then meets several people in the town, like Tow Truck Mater, who is pretty much an American hillbilly in car form. He also meets Doc Hudson, who used to be the Hudson Hornet, a famous race car until his career ended after an accident. So anyways, Doc Hudson trains Lightning McQueen, and on the day of the race, Green Car cheats because he can shoot it for a loser and hits Blue Car according to the track. So then Lightning McQueen carries Blue Car to the finish.
Dynaco.
That's just much I have to say. The story was
Using that move instead of pressing F.
It was pretty unexpected, and the characters were tolerable. This movie, it wasn't that bad.
Cars 2 literally makes me.
So the first time I've ever seen this,
Ratatouille. 10 out of 10. Love it.
Too much of it, and my God, rewatching it, this is the greatest Pixar movie. Yes, I said it. Fight me.
I will.
This movie stands out so much to me because of the
Top
concept.
4 at best.
Pixar movies that have a lot of rules and super complex metaphors.
Soul is pretty good. Soul's pretty good. Soul, I like it.
Wanting to be a cook, and I find that simplicity so charming.
Actually, I'm watching that tonight.
Remy, a rat who dreams of becoming a chef.
Not Soul, of course. I'm watching Ratatouille.
Brother and father. However, after he accidentally alerts an old lady, the entire colony is exposed to her. So the old lady does the only logical thing in this scenario and pulls out a shotgun. The rat colony flees, but Remy gets separated from them in a sewer and finds himself inside Gusteau's restaurant. He then decides to try and cook soup, which turns out is a massive hit to the customers. So then Remy teams up with Linguini, an intern at the restaurant. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention this movie takes place in Paris. Anyway, so Remy and Linguini start cooking more dishes, with Remy controlling him through his hair. Eventually, a famous food critic announces that he will be writing a review on Gusteau's restaurant, which obviously makes everyone nervous. But when Linguini takes a credit for Remy's dishes, Linguini kicks him out, which obviously wasn't a good idea because he had no idea how to cook in the first place. So then he comes up with another idea. Literally tell his entire staff that
why
cooking the food all along. Obviously, everyone thinks he's crazy and literally
I just quit.
I mean, what did he expect? So then Remy calls his entire rat colony for backup and they cook because family. They cooked the ratatouille dish for the critic and oh my God, he said it, that's the name, bro, credit. So anyways, the ratatouille dish reminds the critic of his mother's cooking, finding the meal so good that he even wants to meet the chef. And he does. He literally meets Remy. I mean, I think that it's completely unrealistic that he didn't freak out when he saw a bunch of rats cooking, but even still, he writes his review and gives a speech in the end, which is probably my favorite part of the movie. The main message being that not anyone can cook, but a great cook can cook from anyone. What a solid movie. 10 out of 10. I don't know why I like the movie so much, but I feel as if the simplicity of it is where it shines. Which is why I'm putting this as S tier. Great movie, go watch.
WALL-E, amazing. I love it. Everything was executed perfectly.
Amazing film. I have no idea why, but these two robots somehow showed so much emotion and conveyed such a
for real
love story.
without talking.
Being able to speak 2 words.
WALL-E and Beep.
So anyways, WALL-E is like this robot who is left on Earth after the humans abandon it after polluting it and making it human.
Low-key, this is gonna be the future.
Finds a plant and decides to keep it in his little house. One day, a robot named Steve gets sent to Earth from the
ghost. Not better than WALL-E though. All due respect, all due diligence.
Steve then takes the plant and goes away, and so she is picked up by the ship with WALL-E after tagging along with him. He then gets to the human ship where we see that all the humans have practically become the average citizen of water. Steve then talks to the captain where he's confident about it and decides to learn.
I can't wait to watch Gumball.
The captain tries to change course for Earth. He is stopped by this robot who kind of reminds me of Twilight from apparently it is against the robot's orders or something like that. Yeah, he was just kind of a one-note villain at this point. Unfortunately, WALL-E gets crushed by the robot, but then the captain does something unthinkable.
He walks! They're showing what Discord mods can do. Put your mind to it, Discord mods.
But then they hold it's just so wholesome. So it's so ahead of its time and it's so beautiful.
I can't see.
Once again, another Pixar banger. This was probably the time.
I liked it.
So up follows Carl, the guy who was obsessed with exploring.
Saddest intro to a movie ever though.
But then after Ellie becomes sick, she dies shortly after. Jesus, that's a dark and adventure start to a movie. Selfie Carl literally attacks someone who was tortured in an elderly home. He then decides to screw everything, attaches 1,000 1,000 balloons to his house and floats away. Oh yeah, and there's also this kid called Russell that accidentally got in his house before he took flight. So they eventually reach South America where they meet some blue bird called Kevin, and also a talking dog named John. They eventually come across Charles Munt, who's been living
Bro, he's dead.
Except for finding Kevin the bird. Anyway, so one thing leads to another.
Mask! Oh my god.
Tom and Russell then infiltrate Charles' twin where they retrieve Kevin. And, oh god, he's got it! Oh, and he falls to his death. Well, anticlimactic. Jesus Christ, I don't remember Pixar movies being this dark. So yeah, that's the end. I honestly can't name anything bad about this movie. People always talk about
we cooking.
15 minutes in any Pixar movie, and to that I kinda agree.
For real.
It's like a full movie. It's never really got boring for me. Oh yeah, and the soundtrack. Another.
You wanna know what never got bored of me? Coco. Amazing. I love it. Home together. Yes, we do. We belong together.
I'll get back to that later. The Toy Story 3 revolves around Andy going to college and accidentally getting his poison out by his mom. So then the Toys decide to ditch Andy and go to a daycare. But as it turns out, the daycare is just a giant
420. Honestly, I'm going to stay in Vinland. Actually, I'm going to come back to Vinland. Once it gets to 4, that's when I'm going to Vinland. I mean Tempest, so I just need 1, 2, wait, I need 2 more, because I did this, did that, I just need 2 more. Let's go to Vinland. Yeah, let's go to Vinland.
And then Vato gets dismayed when he helps them to get all thrown in the garbage truck. They then take it to a giant conveyor belt leading to a fire with death, but then they get saved at the last second by an alien. So after all that happened, Andy decides what best is to just donate his toys to Bonnie, including Woody, which he wasn't planning on giving in the first place. Only
Toy Story, perfect ending to the franchise.
Didn't stay the end, but they just had to make another.
Ew. I didn't like Toy Story 4, don't care. Yeah, 8 tier at best, honest opinion. Cars 2, F tier, trash.
Bad Pixar movies come up, everyone usually mentions Cars 2, and me having only seen this movie once before when I was like 6, I didn't really understand the hate. But now having seen it again, I now fully understand. I mean, I didn't really like the first Cars movie all too much, but it wasn't really that bad. This is just insulting. What the hell were they thinking, turning a movie where every character is a car into a spy movie? Okay,
I can understand if it was humans though.
With a ton of race cars, so then he travels to Tokyo to meet him there and race him. Oh yeah, and remember Vader from the first movie? Let's just make him and give him like 20 more scenes and also make him extremely annoying.
And dumb, and stupid, and retarded.
Dumb screw-up who pretty much causes most of the problems. So then Vader meets the spy guy, and then the spy somehow confused.
Bruh!
I don't even know how that's possible, but okay. They do all of this stuff with them being spies and whatnot until eventually the ending where the twist villain is revealed. Oh no, it's this car. I don't even know what the...
I hate when my...
Yeah, the plot is confusing itself. I don't even want to get into all the scenes, so I'll just leave you with this. If you enjoyed the first Cars movie, just watch Cars 3 and skip this one. All of the characters are so annoying and have the mental capacity of a 3-year-old. I know that this...
But on steroids.
Or whatever, but throughout the entire movie, I was just kind of hoping for Vader to die in a fire or something.
For real.
I did not care for any of these characters whatsoever. Lightning McQueen could have crashed and died at the end, and I still wouldn't have changed my opinion on this movie.
No, for real.
This would have probably been a better Pixar movie if it weren't a Cars movie. I mean, I like the idea of a spy movie that revolves around racing and blowing up cars and stuff. If only they were just humans. I had no idea what anyone over at Pixar was thinking when they made this. F tier.
Brave, I loved it.
If I could describe this movie with one word...
But it's boring.
Seriously, this might be one of the worst princess movies I have ever seen. So anyways, this movie is about the stuff...
I liked it, but it was boring. Like, I had to stop myself from zoning out every 3 minutes.
Accidentally turn her mother into a bear. Yes, this is the actual plot of the movie. Eventually, the Scottish people find her and try to kill her, but then the sunrise happens, and I think that's when the potion wears off, and then she returns back to normal. The end. Yeah, I literally don't remember anything from this movie. I had to rewatch the final scene just to remember how it ended, because I genuinely couldn't remember for the life of me. Anyways, yeah, that was great.
Alright, I have to be watching out for the time, because once it hits...
Looking at the progress bar,
where's the time? Where the fuck is the time? It's not showing the time.
Finally, a break from 2 garbage movies. You had no idea how much I wanted to watch this movie after sitting through Cars.
Monsters University, it was okay. Why they make my goat dumb?
Showing how Sullivan and Mike met and how they started working in the scare factory. So they first meet and start out as rivals, and then they get into an argument and accidentally break a stream fantasy. So then they're both
Start off with the bounty billboard, gotta go find
makes
that.
a bet to the DM that if he wins the scare games, he gets back to the scare program. They eventually
Isn't Ten Tails here?
where Mike has to scare some fake children, but then it is revealed that Sully cheated. Yeah, so Sully pretty much just confesses to the dean as he felt bad for cheating. Meanwhile, Mike breaks into an actual scare factory to prove himself that he was actually scary. He wasn't. So then Sully distracts the dean and then gets
I think that's Ren Shiki over there. Or Ten Tails, one of the two.
It turns out that the door was disabled from the outside. So their only way out would be to scare people from the inside.
Best part of the movie.
So then they work together, traumatize the police officers, and escape the door. They get expelled from Monsters University at the end, but then get a job at the Scare Factory where they climb up the ramps and eventually become scary. I mean, for a Monsters Inc. prequel, it was okay. One little nitpick that I have with it is that they should have showed more scenes with Rando in it. They only show him at the start of the movie with him being Mike Wazowski's roommate, but I also wanted to see him become more what he is in Monsters Inc. Also, the villain in this movie is kind of mid. Like, she doesn't really do anything very interesting. She fails Mike and Sully at the start, and that's really it. Still though, this movie isn't that bad. A tier. So, this movie was pleasantly good. So, Inside Out is told through the perspective of the 5 emotions inside of a girl named Riley's head. You ever look at someone and wonder, what is going on inside their head?
Not really.
They have like an HQ and everything with little balls serving as memories. So anyways, Riley moved to San Francisco and lives in a cramped house. But because Sadness accidentally tampered with some memory, Joy and Sadness get thrown out of the HQ, meaning that Riley can't experience happiness and sadness until they come back. Yeah, for the first part of the movie, Sadness was just kind of an annoying, dumb idiot. They come across Bing Bong, who is an old imaginary friend of Riley, and they also come across a lot of places, like this dream production studio and this Cloud City. Eventually, Riley becomes a depressed, emo teenager, and so anger, fear, and disgust implant an idea in her head. That idea being to run away from her family. But luckily, Joy and Sadness return to HQ and stop her from running away. So she returns back home, and the end. This movie was actually really good in my
This is where I get bubbles, right?
Watching it really tough. Although there are still some flaws in it, like the fact that it was very formulaic and predictable, the characters were okay, I guess. I mean, they pretty much have as much depth as a cheap.
Look at my HP.
Actually, just the movie is more mature, and this movie is also a lot more complex than most of the Pixar movies. But it's still a very powerful movie nonetheless. I'll give it an A tier.
Good dinosaur, boring. I guess it was good for environment practice.
Well, it can't be that bad, right?
Trash.
Yeah, I'll keep this review short. This movie blows. It's not even like Hop or Cars 2 or I could laugh at it for being horrible. No, this one's just sad and depressing. So this story follows a world where the astronauts originally killed all the dinosaurs just simply missed Earth. So we get Arlo, our main character with an especially annoying voice. He gets lost because he falls down a river, so then he befriends this caveman child, and they go on doing wacky and funny adventures. There's also like a few scenes where they get attacked by pterodactyls. I honestly can't remember anything from this movie. In the end, Arlo gives the caveman kid up for adoption to this other family. Yeah, that's really the whole movie. It's incredibly tedious. What a nothing movie. I guess I can't really blame them for this. I mean, the movie did end up with stuff to tell. It got delayed several times and was even entirely revisioned at one point. One thing I will give it credit for is that the background looks really nice. The CGI has honestly been stepped up in this movie. Of course, it doesn't match the goofy-ass design of Arlo, but I guess Pixar wanted to use the ray tracing for this movie. Yeah, don't watch this movie. Get in thy bin.
Finding Dory, I love it.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't really know what to think of Finding Dory. I mean, on one hand, I think it's an okay movie, and on the other hand, there are some moments in it I just can't stand. But I'd say that it's still a better movie than Finding Nemo. I said it. Come at me. Finding Dory is basically finding Nemo, except replace Nemo with Dory. It tells us the story of how Dory lost her parents at such a young age and her journey with meeting Marlin and trying to find them. I don't know why, but I really feel like Dory is more of the main character in the Finding Nemo universe more than Nemo himself. Just Dory's history and her journey with her parents really makes Finding Nemo feels more like a side mission than the main plot. Anyway, so Dory ends up in a marine life institute where she meets Hank. So Hank is this octopus who wants to transfer to Ohio or something. He helps out Dory in exchange for his tag, and they meet this whale who constantly falls their head off the lake. Meanwhile, Nemo and Marlin try to traverse the land and search for Dory. One thing that I really like about this movie is that there are a lot more scenes that happen in
The rabbit-tailed spirit. I just realized what that is.
Like, the movie isn't just, so let's swim over here and let's swim over there, but since they're actually trying to traverse the land, they have to get a lot more creative. Eventually, Dory reaches the place where she thinks her parents are, only to find out that they aren't there anymore and that they got thrown into some kind of quarantine. So then she goes there, but unfortunately, Hank gets spotted as Dory gets flushed down the drain.
I honestly did. I mean, Cars 3 was open.
Because he's old and washed up. So he decides to start training with this yellow car girl. Yeah, I have no idea what her name is. They go undercover in this derby, but then the yellow car splashes the lightning, accidentally exposes him. This causes the lightning to get mad at her. She reveals that she also wanted to become a racer, but
Really didn't care.
No, I don't know about you, but that sounds
Like a skill issue.
So then McQueen decides to visit Doc's hometown and learn from his mentor. Oh yeah, did I mention that Doc somehow died?
Why?
It's never explained why he died, he's just dead. So Lightning McQueen meets with Doc's mentor and he teaches him how to use a technique called drafting. Pretty much, if you've ever played any racing game, drafting is sort of the same as slipstreaming, where you block your opponent's back, reducing the movement of air and creating more pressure. So anyways, Lightning McQueen races for the first half, but then stops to let the yellow car race instead, because I guess she deserves a second chance. So she basically uses the drafting technique to catch up with Storm and then does an epic side flip to win the race. So yeah, that was Cars 4. You know, Cars 2 Mesa was probably on screen for like 50% of the whole movie.
Yeah, none of the characters were there mentioned. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Another thing I find funny about this movie is that it has almost nothing to do with Cars 2. It never mentions any of the characters from Cars 2 or makes a reference to Cars 2. You can literally watch this movie after Cars 1 and it wouldn't matter. I mean, it was probably Pixar's fan service and delivering such a horrible sequel. Also, like, I have no idea who the hell this yellow car is, and I really don't care for her. She wasn't very likable or anything, and honestly, whether it would have been her or McQueen to be in Storm, I don't think it would have impacted my review any differently. See here.
Coco saved Pixar.
This movie is so unique and creative and at the same time so emotional. It presents
For real, I cried. I cry every time I watch it. I don't know why. It's like I expect it, but I still cry. Even though I know what's gonna happen.
The locations is all amazing. The story's about this kid named Miguel living in a family who makes music. I guess you could say they really wanted to avoid those pesky YouTube copyright claims.
Yeah.
Miguel's inspired by this guy called Ernesto, who is a famous musician that died.
Criminal.
But as music is found in his family, he learns the guitar in secret. On the Day of the Dead, Miguel finds out that his great-great-grandfather was actually Ernesto and tells the family the news. They didn't take the time with it. So then Miguel went off to steal Ernesto's guitar, which sent him to the land of the dead, where he can interact with his dead relatives. Then Miguel meets this guy called Hector, who helps him try to reach Ernesto so he can be sent back to the living world. Oh yeah, and apparently if somebody forgets you in the real world, then you also die in the dead world. So after Hector and Miguel get into an argument, Miguel decides to just sneak into the party to meet Ernesto, but then Hector catches up and confronts Ernesto, stealing his song. But then, in a shocking plot twist, it is shown that what actually happened is that Ernesto poisoned Hector and took his salt without getting credit.
Crazy.
Sly snake Ernesto. Honestly, Ernesto is still one of the best twist villains in Pixar. I mean, I did not see that coming on my first watch. So then Miguel and Hector get thrown into a pit, but then we see that Hector is actually Miguel's great-great-grandfather. So then they infiltrate Ernesto's concert and do the cliche thing where they record the bad guy in front of a live audience to expose him.
The last thing you want in your Burger King burger.
Yeah, this is the only nitpick I have with this movie, but it was also kind of necessary. Anyway, so Miguel returns home with a blessing, and oh my god, the ending. Probably the greatest ending to any Pixar movie. And man, I'm telling you all, go watch this movie right now. S tier.
And Incredibles
I have
2.
no idea what to think of this movie. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but at the same time, like, did we really need an Incredibles sequel?
Really not.
This film literally starts a few seconds after the first one ends, with the Incredibles fighting some obscure villain. Unfortunately for them, they cause a lot of collateral damage, which makes the government ban superheroes again. So then Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and Frozone sign up for the sketchy superhero program led by this guy voiced by Bob Odenkirk, and also his sister.
Carried the whole movie with Dash.
Dash cams to superheroes and broadcast them to the public so that they can regain their trust. And let me just say, I find it so funny that this guy is being voiced by Bob Odenkirk, because whenever he talks in this movie, I just imagine Saul Goodman in his place.
I am Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? And that's why I fight for you, Albuquerque.
So it turns out that the big superhero program was a scheme, and Bob Odenkirk's sister Evelyn was the secret twist villain. Apparently she sabotaged the superhero program because her parents died and didn't get saved by superheroes. Well, that's a lame ass motive. She invents like this screen that can hypnotize superheroes, which is how she gets them to do what she says. Meanwhile, Dash and Violet have to save everyone. So yeah, the superheroes all team up together to stop Evelyn. Luckily, Bob Odenkirk survives. Thank God, he was literally the only character I cared about. So yeah, that was the whole movie. It wasn't that good, but I guess it also could have been much, much worse. The villain is probably my number one complaint. Like, if she hated superheroes so much, then why did she join her brother in trying to make superheroes legal again, only to betray him and say, psych, I'm evil? The motives just don't make too much sense. Otherwise, the plot of the movie is okay, I guess. It's not anything very great. You know, beats here.
That song carried.
Did you really think that Toy Story 3 was going to be the last movie of the series? Well, it must suck.
I feel like Toy Story 5 is going to be a thing.
Where do I even start with this? So, you know how in the end of Toy Story 3, Andy gives all of his toys to Bonnie on the one condition that she loves them and takes care of them?
Yep, threw that out the window.
Take a big old dump on that movie. Remember Woody? Yeah, well, screw him, right? Let's make a new character out of a literal sport. Yes. This is a real.
They thought they were cooking when they made this. I cried. I'm dead.
Stupid sport guy who pretty much tried to commit suicide for the first 20
Loki really should have.
Anyway, so
Why did my goat stop him? Woody, you did not have to stop him.
So then Bonnie gets to this carnival place, but then Woody and Sporky are still trying to reach the bag. That's also Woody sees Bo Peep the Lantern and Aunt Pete's window. Oh yeah, remember Bo Peep, the Robin truck for Woody that was gone by the third movie? Yeah, well she's back in this movie. There's also the main villain of the movie,
Hater.
To kidnap Sporky and force Woody to give his voice. And Woody does it. I guess we're also supposed to sympathize with it or something. I don't even know. I don't really like her too much. There's also this stunt guy called Duke being voiced by
Jerry. Why do you come on there?
Woody has to make a choice. He either stays with Bonnie or he becomes a lost boy with Bo Peep. Now, there's no way that Woody would just abandon Bonnie, right?
But like Bonnie definitely did not like take care of him.
He stays with Bo Peep. Yeah, this movie kinda sucked. It didn't have a lot of the scenes with the classic toys and Buzz Lightyear throughout this movie.
Was a dumbass.
They also had a lot of characters. I guess the one question I have left is, was it worth it for the $1 billion the movie made in the box office? Shame on you, Pixar.
Onward, I kinda liked it, to be honest. It was pretty good. Definitely cried.
About Onward before watching it, and now having watched it, it was meh. I don't think it's a terrible movie at all, but it is pretty boring and mediocre and painfully formulated. So Onward takes place in a mythical world where there used to be magic and wonder, but then everyone just got lazy and decided to stop using magic. Things started dragons here. Anyway, so here we have our two main characters, Ian and Barley. Ian is your typical awkward teenager kid, and Barley is pretty much this huge nerd when it comes to magic and history. So on the 16th
he's definitely in a subreddit about it.
From their dead dad, and as it turns out, Ian is a wizard and can bring their dad back to life for only one day. However, the spell fails and only half of their dad's body was made. So the entire movie is just them on an adventure trying to find the gem thing to power the staff so they can bring their dad back. They eventually end up back in the school where Ian is like a dragon with the spells. And the ending is basically Ian giving up meeting his dad so that Bailey can meet him. Yeah, it's not really anything too special of a movie. I mean, I barely remember anything from the actual plot besides the ending, and I feel like this movie could have been a lot better if it had more of a serious and emotional tone. But no, it's just kind of mid. C tier.
I like Soul.
This movie, I have no idea what to think of it. It's got some really good and powerful scenes, but there are so many things happening in this movie that my brain can't even process. This is also probably the most mature Pixar movie to date. Anyway, so Soul follows the life of Joe, who is a music teacher. He then gets an offer to play with this famous musician woman. He impresses her and gets the gig, but shortly after falls in a manhole and literally dies. So now he's basically in purgatory, where he can either choose to go to the afterlife or try and escape. He chooses to try and escape. So he somehow ends up in this place where a bunch of souls are getting assigned their personalities before getting sent to Earth. This is when we are introduced to the second main character named 22. 22 is this soul who has no interest in going to Earth, so she's just kind of living in the soul world as opposed to living her life on Earth. Until the two of them meet this meditator guy who helps Joe find his body. But then 22 accidentally gets pushed down this hole, and now 22 is in Joe's body and Joe is in the cat's body. I really love most of the 22 scenes when she's in Joe's body. Her experiencing life for the first time and enjoying every tiny thing was clever and put a whole new perspective to me. I especially love the scene in the barbershop where 22 basically becomes a philosopher. Anyway, so then they get transported back into the soul world where 22 basically gives up her Earth pass to Joe so he can go back to Earth. But then he feels bad for 22, so he goes back into the soul world and gives her the badge. So obviously now he has to go to the afterlife, right? But no, he gets a second chance to live life again. Yeah. Okay, so I may not have been a very big fan of this ending. I feel like he should have definitely just gone to the afterlife and died. I feel that would have been a more impactful ending rather than him getting a second chance. It really sells the message that you should appreciate your life and every second of it, but whatever. I'm willing to let it slide. This movie was honestly really good, and there are more powerful and emotional scenes in here accompanied by great music. In conclusion, great movie, great soundtrack, but not really a masterpiece. A tier.
I like Luca. S tier.
Okay, this is a great movie. It has such a simple concept and it is executed so damn good. The only rules in Luca are pretty much just okay. So if a monster becomes wet, they become monsters. But if monsters dry, they become humans. Which I find nice because it's easy to comprehend. Okay, so here's the plot of the movie. This kid named Luca, who comes from a sea monster family living near Italy, decides to run away from his family after prohibiting him to go to the surface world. I guess because the humans wanted to kill the sea monster. He is influenced by this other sea monster kid named Alberto, who shows him the way of living like a human. They then dream of owning a Vespa and traveling around the world with it. So they go to the human town and search for a Vespa. Luca and Alberto then team up with this girl named Julia in a race where they can use the money to buy a Vespa. There's also the main villain of this movie, Hercules, which basically gives some random thing with a big ego. And what I love about this is that it's not some big villain that's saying they literally introduce him 30 minutes into the movie. So then they start living in the human town for a while until Luca stops showing interest in the Vespa because he wants to go to school instead. So then Alberto decides to intentionally reveal to them the scene of human.
What? That still got me. Why did Luca even do that?
I see what you mean by the plot. Okay. Of all the plot twists in all 26 of these movies, this is the one that struck out to me the most. I mean, this and Coco. So then Alberto runs away. Luca then tries to reconcile with him, and it is at this point that it's revealed that the only reason why Alberto lives in the human world is because his father abandoned him years ago. Yikes. Seems like father...
I remember seeing theories that Alberto's dad was the Luca's uncle, I think.
What will Luca do now? So then Luca and Alberto continue the race together as sea monsters with Hercules chasing behind them with a freaking harpoon. They then cross the finish line but then get threatened by the townsfolk. But then everyone just kind of forgives them and accepts them into society, I guess. And just like that, the racism was no more. Luca and Alberto eventually buy a Vespa, but Alberto sells it for money so he could buy a train ticket for Luca so he could go to school. What a great ending. Overall, I am very satisfied with this movie. It has great humor, a great art style, and has a very good story. Just don't look into the Luca fandom. Anyways,
I'm scared
great movie
now to look into it. Turning Red was good.
So, I was kind of surprised when I watched this movie for the first time. It was a very unique change of pace compared to what I'm used to. Also, this movie is hilarious as hell. I'm officially counting this the funniest Pixar movie of all time, mainly because of this one scene. May with a 13-year-old trying to see him. Then one day, May and her friends talk about a store clerk and how they had a crush on him. And then May decides to literally draw Rule 34 of her in the store clerk. But then her mom finds out about it and then storms into the store, embarrassing her in front of everyone. Alright, 15 minutes into the movie, we're already off to a great start. So that night, May has a nightmare, and the next day she turns into a red panda, which I think is a metaphor for menstruation. I mean, I don't know, I'm not a girl. So pretty much the rules are, if May has a strong emotion, she turns into a red panda, but if she remains calm, the red panda goes away. But since she wants to raise enough money to go to a BTS concert, she uses the panda to earn money. Her parents also set up like a ritual thing for her, but she just escapes it to go to the BTS concert instead, which angers her mom, which triggers her red panda. Unfortunately for them, her red panda is literally the size of Godzilla. They do the ritual thing in the BTS concert, and we learn that May's mom is also suffering from trauma caused by generations. Don't you just love Asian parents? So then the movie ends with May embracing the red panda because that's who she is. I was kind of caught off guard with this movie. Also, the art style is really good in this movie. It's definitely a change from the ultra realism in movies like Sing 2 or The Good Dinosaur, so I appreciate it for that. Overall, pretty good movie. B tier.
Lightyear.
Lightyear kind of sucked. It's not really insulting.
It even kind of, it's just straight up ass.
So much better than this. This movie was sort of just really boring all around. Like, I'm struggling to mention anything that sets this movie apart from the others. I guess the one thing that's great about this movie are the graphics. They look so incredible. Anyway, so Lightyear follows, you guessed it, Buzz Lightyear, who seems to somehow be more annoying in this movie than in the Toy Story movies. Like, this dude has such a big ego that it kind of just makes him annoying. Anyway, so Buzz and his colony get stranded on this planet, and so Buzz must try to correct his mistake by trying to return home. So he uses some hyperspeed fuel to test drive his spaceship, and guess what? Every time Buzz is gone for 5 minutes, and his planet is actually 4 years. I wonder where I've seen this before. But then he steals a ship along with his robot cat and goes like 20 years into the future, which completely screws up the timeline. He teams up with his crew, who is pretty much just like a budget version of Rogue One from Star Wars. He then meets Zurg, who, plot twist, is himself.
Instead of being his dad.
And is also a bad guy. I mean, this kind of sucked for continuity reasons, because in Toy Story 2, we actually learned that Zurg is Buzz's father. So that kind of puts a dent in the continuity if you think about it. So anyway, Buzz literally explodes Mars and turns back home to his planet, where he just accepts it as his home. I don't really see a reason why anyone should watch this movie. It doesn't really have a good story or memorable characters or anything redeemable about it. It kind of seems like they were really just trying to make a Lightyear movie for the sake of making a Lightyear movie. So yeah, B tier. In conclusion, Pixar, while having some flawed movies, I think should still be the gold standard for animated children's movies.
Alright, now to go, hurry up and go to DreamWorks.
Sponsored by Surfshark TVS. Well?
Yo, what's up, Goku Black? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you for joining. I appreciate you for joining. Play with you. Sure, I gotta go find the private server code again now. But just, yeah, y'all could join. Just give me a moment real quick. Okay, alright.
Yes, the very first DreamWorks movie is Ants. I mean, who even remembers this movie anyway? Its entire purpose was probably just to complete the picture of Bugs Life. That being said,
now I gotta see if please tell me to scroll. No. Like, I just need the mask, nothing else.
He wants to become like a child soldier because he wants to impress his sister. He wants to go to war,
wrong
survive the
move.
war, and then kidnap the sister.
Also wrong move.
They then find a picnic with some very not so subtle products. They fast forward to the end of the movie and they think back to the actual where everything's literally almost drowned and then he saves them. He ends up with the princess and yeah.
Alright, let me look for the private server code.
This was kind of horrible. I mean, imagine the balls of someone to create a whole ass animation studio just to copy it on YouTube. How in God's name is this a DreamWorks movie? I honestly forgot for a second while watching this that this is the same company responsible for the goddamn phosphate. The Prince of Egypt is undeniably one of DreamWorks' greatest movies. It follows the story of Moses from the Bible freeing the Hebrews from slavery, which indeed means that this movie is canon to the Christ cinematic universe and also the Bible. And I mean, I just love that book. I even have a signed copy. Anyway, so the movie starts and shows us a bunch of Hebrew slaves rushing to hide their infants as a pharaoh orders on infanticide, which is basically the killing of all infant babies so as to reduce population. Whoa, when I thought that Finding Nemo had a dark side, this movie takes the cake. So Moses' mother releases Moses into the river and hopes that he can be sent to his Hebrew. Years later, Moses, now part of the royal family of Egypt, found out the dark truth behind where it came from, and the fact that he was
I forgot. I might have to look back on stream from when I put it on originally.
Before being called upon by God to go to his people. He goes back and tries to reach his brothers, King Ramses, but to no avail. So he instead brings 10 plagues upon Egypt and commits mass infanticide, killing Ramses' son in the process. Moses then leads the freed slaves to the Red Sea, but then gets pursued by King Ramses and his men. But with the power of God and animate on his side, Moses splits the water in half, crosses the sea, and then closes it down to the rest of Egypt. Although this movie had no right to go this hard. Everything was just perfect. The music, the animation, the story, the raw emotional damage. Literally everything they did it so well.
I'm gonna come back.
Alright, this is one of the best DreamWorks movies I've ever seen.
But on steroids. Yo, what's up? A video? Wait. Yeah, I'm getting the private server code right now. What's that say?
Then Tulio and the girl there get escorted by the town high priest and a bunch of the locals, who for some reason think that they're gods after a volcano coincidentally erupts. So now with the whole town ruined, Tulio and Miguel live like gods before deciding to leave it on the door. Tulio falls in love with this girl called Chell, who helps them pretend to be gods. But then the town leader guy finds out the truth behind Tulio.
Alright, there we go.
People pretending to be gods. So then tries to kill them, fails, and then tries to kill them again, and then...
Wait, hold up guys, somebody's calling me.
Bro can't join. When I put the code it doesn't do she.
How? I really want to know how do I get this before I get the mask. That's not, let me try and put it in again. How did I get that before the mask? How did I get that before the mask? I put a O instead of A.
just like an onion, it has so many wonderful layers to it. I mean, it's Shrek. This is
Alright,
literally an animated
this should be the new code. This
language
should be it.
like Pulp Fiction and Interstellar. So Shrek is about this guy called Shrek who goes on a quest to rescue a princess so that he can get a swamp back from this guy who kind of looks like Markiplier. Anyways,
Wait, no, no. Put that in. Replace the O with the N.
Markiplier dies, and if you still haven't seen this movie, which I'm certain you probably have, you need to watch this right now. This is pretty much the equivalent of a feature length. I guess the only thing I did like about Shrek was that the pacing kind of slowed down in the second act of the movie a bit. But other than that, this movie is hilarious and absolutely unapologetically S tier. If I'm gonna be honest, I had never heard of this movie prior to making this video, and judging this movie by its cover before watching it, yeah, I thought it was gonna be complete trash. But surprisingly, it's not actually that bad. This movie's about this horse called Spirit who doesn't talk but has sort of a disconnected voice by conscious voice by Matt Damon. He gets captured by a bunch of Americans and pretty much decides to partake in some tomfoolery by leading an entire goddamn horse revolution and escaping, before being captured again by this Native American guy. Eventually, he gets set free, gets captured again, gets set free again, and then gets chased by the Americans, who eventually just give up after realizing that they didn't want to get beaten up by the same horse twice in a row.
Replace the O with the N.
Overall, I feel like this movie was actually good. The plot was simple while it's not being too boring, and the rest of
Yeah, I'm sure. Replace the O with the N.
fighting for.
I did.
I promise that's the code. Yeah, that's the code. I don't know why it's not working.
I was just completely underwhelmed once the credits rolled because the ending was so.
Still. Damn it. Check again, please.
I don't know what's happening. I guarantee you that's the code. Holy spam of doom. This boss really loves that spamming.
DreamWorks animation history happened. That of course being the holding up the hero scene. Take note to when you think this how he's holding up the.
Check bra. bro. You ooh ooh. Are you sure that the code?
Reptomania. You get this absolute drawing montage of them shooting through the 1 week of water. Those are the animals told that RJ was actually so RJ literally just gaslight all the animals to support him. It doesn't exterminate shows up and punches the animals out of their body. RJ is serious and thinks that he's the bear, but then decides to change his mind and save the animals instead. And then we get this amazing fight scene with the bear, the animals, and the exterminator. In the end, this process is the exterminator. Honestly, I had way more fun in this movie than I'd like to admit. The characters are so stupid, but they honestly all make up for it with how good they practice are. DreamWorks, please make a sequel to this movie. That's true. Okay, I might be a little more biased in my opinion. Just for the fact that I used to watch this movie as a kid non-stop every day. But anyways, Flush the Way is still
Mask, please, I'm begging, Mask.
aside from the human animation stuff.
Mask! Yes! 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 One more!
Rat girl and also these evil frogs trying to steal the movie or something like that. But it turns out it's fake and Lottie literally just breaks it and proves it for it. It's also revealed that the evil frog man's plan was to flood the entirety of the rat.
Where we going? Where we finna go next? Where we finna go next? Tempest.
This movie, along with all the other artists, was very good. Like, extremely good. People are just not the experience of the two stages of frogs, bringing the giant waves in the process of saving the last city. For the most part, I thought that people were pretty great at movie. I also sort of get how this reminds us of that try to incorporate and stop motion stuff in 3D. It's not 3D is good as an audio, but I also feel like it's a lot of that stop motion style. Not that the animation is bad, of course, but I just prefer stop motion. Other than that, this is still a pretty enjoyable art. Just the Day was sort of a letdown. I don't know what it is about this movie, but it just didn't hit as hard as any of the other Shrek movies. This movie follows after Shrek 2, with Shrek and Fiona being king and queen, and Shrek not wanting anything to do with it. So then Shrek, along with Donkey and Flo, set off to find the next heir, who turns out to be someone called Arthur. And despite this kid literally being destined to be the next king, it turns So while this was happening, all of the fairy tale villains, including Prince Charming, decided to team up and move over far, far away. Struck then gets captured by the bad guy, and then Arthur gives an inspirational speech or whatever, which somehow works and saves the day. And then Shrek and Fiona have kids, and yeah, this movie was not very good. Usually every single character in these Shrek movies are pretty likable, but throughout this movie, I just sort of had a burning hatred for Arthur's character. Other than that, the story was weak, the writing didn't feel all too fleshed out, and the jokes were forgettable. B tier.
New Dawn Power Sets traps, locks, and removals 99% free.
What's the awkward premise? I found it one of the funniest DreamWorks movies ever. So on to the plot. This movie is about this bee called Barry Seinfeld, who decides to not get a job as a bee because he doesn't feel like something other selfish from his life. Instead, he then decides to go out of the hive and actually save humans. Somehow develops a close relationship with this girl and proceeds to sue humans for harvesting their honey. Yes, this is not a joke, this is actually what happens in the movie. Hey, wait a second, not the bear from over the ledge. There's also the girl's boyfriend. This movie decided to put so much emotion into his voice acting for no reason. For your information, I prefer sugar Anyway, so Barry wins the court case, the bees get left alone, and the nature decides to not use their no pollination. So then they just decide to use the remaining pollen of the flowers, which apparently save nature, and everyone was happily ever after. All in all, the bee movie was definitely a roller coaster. All of the jokes in this movie are so surreal and actually laugh, I wasn't expecting. They literally kill Winnie the Pooh in this movie. You cannot make this stuff up. The plot and story of this movie is so nonsensical, yet I still love it so much for some reason. I mean, at best, this is a pretty ironic movie that's so enjoyable, and that's really which on so many different levels. The Kung Fu Panda is about this panda called Po, who after entering this chosen to become the legendary dragon warrior. He's apparently the one worthy to open the dragon scroll and become all-powerful. Earning the trust of the Furious Five. There's also the main villain, Tai Lung, who we learned wants to take revenge on Master Shifu as he was deemed unworthy of the Dragon Scroll. Eventually, Po receives the Dragon Scroll, which, plot twist, turns out to be empty, but then Po finds out that the secret to the power the Dragon Scroll holds is actually just nothing, but instead to believe in himself.
That's Jen.
Po then uses the wisdom to beat up Tai Lung, and yeah. I honestly love this movie so much. All the characters are so simple, yet have such intriguing arcs. The story was pretty straightforward, the fight scenes were fun and well made, and I can't really think of anything I dislike about it either. That's true. Like I said earlier in the video, I think that Madagascar 2 is a pretty perfect sequel to the first. Madagascar 2 takes place right after the first one, with the Grand Audience glorified action version. The airplane then crashes and they all get stranded in Africa.
Gang, what is happening? Yo, Rev.
However, Alex mistakes the fight for a dance fight and gets beaten up. Meanwhile, Gloria falls in love with a tough Moto. However, their relationship doesn't really work as Gloria finds out that Moto only liked it for her body. The next day, the watching horse dries up, starting a drought, to which the animals solve by reasonable means of literally sacrificing Melvin the giraffe to a bullet signal. But then Melvin gets saved by Gloria, who begins to love for him. The gang then escapes to a makeshift plane led by monkeys and live happily ever after in Africa. So the penguin, so Madagascar is pretty happy. Overall, I just love this movie. It was able to expand on the Madagascar universe so seamlessly and develop each character further, especially with Gloria and Melvin's relationship and Alex and Marty's whole arc of adventure. Pretty good sequel, that's true. Monsters vs. Aliens is not a very good movie. I don't really know what this movie was trying to achieve because it was walk through walls like it's nothing. Anyway, so after this chase scene, the rest of the movie follows the gang joining the circus to evade the feds. But then we get one of those cliche movie moments where the circus people find out that the Madagascar guy invited them and that they weren't actually from the circus. In the end, all is forgiven, the gang gets the circus permanently, and Dubois gets shipped to Madagascar. Honestly, as a third movie, it wasn't as good as I initially hoped. But there's still a lot to like about the story, like this tiger guy who has PTSD from one of his stunts gone wrong. Also voiced by Bryan Cranston of all people. Also, while I was watching this movie, one of my friends pointed out that the character designs looked like they were made by Illumination, and honestly, I can't unsee this. Yeah, DreamWorks were basically just ripping them off, which sucks because Illumination's character design is dog food. Look at the humans in Madagascar 2 compared to 3. Why couldn't they just stick to this design? Other than that, this movie was kinda okay. A tier. And I really wanted to like the Guardians, but there's something about this movie. It's just not for me, I'm sorry. The story is pretty much about these guardians based off of imaginary holiday-like creatures. You got Russian Santa Claus, Australian Easter Bunny, whatever the hell this is, and their whole gimmick was basically that they only exist if the children around the world believe in them. This movie was literally inside out before Inside Out was made. The guardians then have to face off against the boogeyman, whose whole motive was just to be remembered again and instill fear among the children. And then the guardians make the children believe in them again, thus defeating the boogeyman and saving the world. The entire premise of the movie was sort of promising to begin with, but none of this really clicked with me, and in my opinion, the whole story was kind of tedious. Some of the characters were kind of cool, aside from the boogeyman, who's probably the most forgettable villain in history. And the concept of the movie was definitely something interesting, but this movie just sort of took itself too seriously, in my opinion. I mean, you know what the rest of this Zack Snyder...
Defeat the boss. I bet. Let's get jiggy then.
Okay, you guys are probably going to be but I thought Truth was good for the most part. I mean, this is literally with a different topic.
I'm sorry. It was a joke. I'm sorry.
Probably because halfway through, I just took my brain off and pushed the case. So this movie
Oh, it's one of them spamming types.
Guys going to stop on me. The world around them literally just starts collapsing into an
But Candace Solo, is that 1, 2, 3? Wait, 1, 2, 3. That can
Look at the funny caveman that's over in fire. Isn't that hilarious? Please laugh. The caveman dad then saves the family from the apocalypse.
Lightning! Run away. I'm dead.
That's it. Overall, definitely not the best movie, although the graphics did look pretty cool. These backgrounds look like they look up to Nintendo game, which I thought was fun. Final verdict, if you're gonna watch this movie, you should look at the game.
Bro. Turbo, I love
Turbo was a terrible movie. It sucks because this movie wasn't too bad, and at the same time, it was just bad. For some reason, this movie had an extremely stacked cast, including Ryan Reynolds, Samuel L. Jackson, and Steve Jobs.
I already have this scroll since when? I do not remember.
One day he gets stuck into a car engine or something and so speed power. So then he joins these other snail racers and together they raise money to compete in the Indy 500. Turbo against all odds after he gets in the Indy 500, and this is when we win that Shy Gagne is delivering this big village. But then after a massive crash, Turbo wins that Gagne literally attempts to kill him in the end. Wow, what an insane ass movie. The whole premise of the snail competing in the winter tournament is something I never thought I would see, and judging by the movie, it's probably gonna stay that way. I mean, if I wanted to watch a movie about some animals who wanted to accomplish something to was passionate about, the hardship of animals, I would just watch Ratatouille. I have no idea what their life is, but I could definitely tell you to be one of them. Please hear. Thank the Lord for this movie. Mr. Peabody and Sherwood is probably the only movie that is dressed like they tell a joke and make me go. So the plot of this movie is about this genius anthropomorphic dog named Peabody who decides to adopt a kid called Sherman. And because of his high intelligence skills and literal climate, this is to teach Sherman about history, which I thought was probably the best part about it. I was enjoying how the movie constantly switches between different course. So anyway, Shindo goes to school and immediately gets bullied by his friend called Kevin, calling him a dog, which results in self-defense against after Shindo bites her in self-defense. Now, I don't know about you guys, but basically, I believe it's equal right. So let's see why this fight out. And this is when Sherman shows Kenny the time machine, going to the separate back in time. This ends up leading to two options career to the space back continuum, which just roughly translates to the time machine goes to the collapses. In the end, Sherman the bricks are damaged by taking the time machine and going fast with it, which somehow fixes the problem. So yeah, that's what the two bodies statement. Honestly, not the problem. If it went for Benny being the most annoying character in the business, I would have probably not retired. But just like the first Pirate Penny Dragon, this one is a major upgrade in possibly every way. How to Penny Dragon 3 follows a few years after Pirate Penny Dragon 1. They pick up being infected by a dad, pick up the rich food from the town. They don't after then come across a bunch of dragon trappers, trying to trap as many dragons as they can to break their boss. Here's war monsters who's going to conquer the world. Like how original. They don't want to live in town by a strong one. Also into a flashback, Victor picks up and pick up a baby because he didn't want to kill dragons. Drago Bloodfist then attacks them and somehow take off and into the storage. This whole battle scene is probably my favorite part.
Egg 06. That name sounds familiar, but no, I don't. Yo! I have to refocus so I don't get beat up. All that just for no scroll. Oh wow. How much do I have? 2.8 million. In conclusion, this is a pretty good sequel. I can't believe that DreamWorks actually has a boss to make a movie based off the 2016 Penguins of Madagascar for the Nintendo DS. The movie was pretty good. I mean, I guess it's bit of... Yeah, you're gay. Yep. Mods, get him out. Mods, get him out. Yep, nope. Mods, get him out of here immediately. Nope. Penguins of Madagascar get kidnapped by this menacing octopus guy named Dave. His whole motive was to basically just turn penguins into mutated monsters. The penguins then run into the reach down the
Finally found you. It was so hard cause of your username, brah. Bro, you made me a mod before.
I don't remember.
I think it was like 1 or 2 years ago.
But in all honesty, there's nothing new. It's a pretty basic DreamWorks movie and it definitely should have been released.
You were my fat streamer.
Dun.
Was unsurprisingly a very good movie. So far, the
809. Wait, the cartoon cat?
So Kung Panda 3 starts in the spirit realm, and here we see Master Oogway battling up with the villain of the movie, Kai. His whole gimmick is taking character spirits and using them to fight for him, sort of like a twisted version of Pokemon. Kai pretty much just starts collecting creature weapons for the first time, and here we have Po, who's supposedly destined to beat him through the power of Chi, which is apparently the cool ability pandas can do with cultivate life. So Po's dad, no, not that dad, is actual.
Oh, okay, now I remember you. W's. Thanks for joining back, gang.
Kai then slowly takes the chi out of everyone and arrives at the Panda village, ready to fight Po. And then a last-ditch effort, Po sacrifices himself, taking Kai to the spirit realm. And then the other pandas save Po by unlocking their chi, thus giving Po unlimited power. which we usually do quite high. All in all, Kung Fu Panda 3 was pretty good. I especially love how they tried experimenting with different animation techniques in the beginning. DreamWorks were
The reason why I couldn't check.
change up their style.
Dang. And also, I think we live in different time zones, because when I would post videos at 6 a.m., I think that'd be daytime for you or something. You know me. Well, just dance, can't stop feeling. Blocked. It's 11:43. Dang, it's 2 for me.
Girls go and went partying, and then her friends get kidnapped by a big, stinky burger. So then she teams up with this other soul who is very sad and angry because apparently she didn't take the crime now or something like that. Then they ready to from the burgers and teach them the meaning of happiness. Another good aspect of this. I cannot express it enough, but Trolls is really...
I actually threw my mouse. Why?
Have more maturity than Trolls. Every attempt at a joke here just felt like they were trying to spoon feed a thing that doesn't exist. Like, hey, look, the jokes aren't singing. The only thing possibly more aggravating in this movie is the fact that DreamWorks is now making this into a trilogy. Because why not? You know, let's just ignore every other good movie we made a crazy of the haha funny pop toast because ooh, funny! F you, absolute trash.
Right there, retarded. I died.
So the Boss Baby is about this baby who wears a suit and socks. And it's funny, because, you know, the baby. There's also this other kid called Tim who tries to get rid of the Boss Baby by having him run over by a car. And then Tim and the Boss Baby team up to try to stop an evil organization because one thing about those puppies. Because babies and puppies are apparently mortal enemies in this movie. There's also these chasing that happen between the Boss Baby to try and stop the evil bad guy from doing evil bad things. And for some reason the music went so incredibly...
Please let it be the mask. Please let it be the mask. Please let it be the mask. Game, I need this. I need this. Egg, give me your luck.
No, I get nothing. So yeah, that was The Boss Baby. Honestly, not the best movie out there, but somehow also not the worst. Anyways...
Finally! Captain Underpants, yeah. I love Captain Underpants.
100% tell you that this is an amazing So just like the both Captain Underpants focuses on the two kids like an arrow, we also learn that they constantly get from school.
Ow.
And also there's Eagle Quest for Mr. Stuff. The next day they have to kiss people kids about Melvin's presentation, and also cut really the very most of the world. Melvin's pretty much uses a hidden camera to escape the sword and arrow. So to avoid them from being in separate process, George uses the hypno ring to recognize the stuff at the beginning. After Mr. Channel, and then we get possibly the greatest intro scene to any superhero ever. We also learn that if you snap in with a drop, you turn to the Captain Underpants. If you throw water at them, you can catch the drop, just like in the closet. The next day, this German inventor called the Thunder Key applies to be a science. But then George's Howland said that he and his name actually stands for Superman, causing all the kids to laugh at his expense. Yes, this is real. Deadpool is an origin story that is one successful inventor that nobody took seriously until his story. So now he's taking his society by teaming with Melvin and attempting to redevelop a mountain like this to find pilot. We get this amazing action to his soul to the detective of the drama. Man, they really got everything this way. So Professor Superman teaches the anti-rocket
Why is it still locked?
In the end, George's Howland's plan was not to break the headline, thus killing Captain Underpants. Until at the very end, where Captain Underpants is first getting sequel. Captain Underpants is such a great movie. It excels at pretty much everything that Captain Underpants adaptation could have excelled at, and perfectly captures what it's like to read a Captain Underpants book, all down to the small details of the art style and writing. DreamWorks, please make a sequel. How to Train Your Dragon 3 is great. There is no denying that.
A link to what? I'm scared.
So this movie starts a few years after Jacob becomes chief. Eventually into this warmonger called Grimmer will send to hunt out his country. Also he was apparently responsible for a danger against the space place and wanted to find him in the future. So then Jacob starts to search for the hidden world. He pulls a safe agent for dragons to live in harmony. But yeah, they also discovered the female night school. honestly. So I asked him on his part to look at the body about two different characters. This was an answer that makes me find that it's real to see figures in the right view and the couple, reading the last man the dragon, and then they get outed by the dragon in the studio. In my opinion, this is a huge turning point in the story, because it's when Hiccup first realizes that Hiccup should be leaving the dragon alone when he's turning into a pet. Hiccup then starts an ambush in Hiccup armor. More essential gamers come to like the future. It's a Hiccup that stays and Dylan falls the constitution role in everyone's body is still Hiccup then decides what strategies for all one to that face in the different. And then we get this emotional scene of everyone ready to go control and it was great. There's also this ending scene of Hiccup between the two fighters. As you can see, the audience fighting balance to the strategy to the time until they're ready to pull a shift without some crazy little bit trying to break with them. This criteria experiment is a perfect ending to the story. Honestly, I thought it pretty much the same. The other thing is that you can watch. My opinion, Abominable was very abominable.
I like the Abominable.
So Abominable is something we can't find and revolves around this Yeti escape. Other kids started on adventures on Mount Everest to try and return the Yeti to his home. Also, some of this Yeti has unexplained mythical powers which immediately help you in time for the situation to progress. I mean, some people call it
I am indeed not there.
Makes absolutely no sense. There's no point for her to be a twist villain. Just play the movie as normally. Don't pull any of this Disney bullshit. The movie ends with the Yeti using his powers to escape and finally return to Mount Everest. Jesus Christ, man, what even was this movie? As far as I can remember, Abominable was bad, but not on a level that the show was bad. It's still a pretty decent movie if you remove the awful twist villain. So just for that,
Unlocked Eisden.
and speaking of shows, Bros World Tour. Did I say that? I actually hated this movie so much. So much that I'd even go as far to say it's worse than anything.
Alright, now we're gonna go. Alright, so, like, what did I do to you? I'm about to kill this nigga, bro.
And the main villain, who I don't even know the name of, is trying to steal all the strings to form sort of a show breaking up in
I swear I will actually disrespect you heavily, son. Alright, gang. Try me. Oh, sure, son. Okay. Try me, babe. Do something. I dare you. Do something. I'll murk you off the face of the planet. Both of y'all at the same time. I am not lying. I'll murk both of y'all at the same time. Not lying. I will switch cheese, yo, twin. Alright, that's what I thought. Try me. I really want you to try me. Y'all think y'all can jump me? Look at y'all avatars. Y'all think y'all can jump me? Oh, scary. Scary. I got you. It's not feel threatened. I deeply feel threatened. Not for switch cheese or chicken. Nah. None ain't gonna stop me. None ain't gonna stop me. He's dead. Good. Yeah. You are strong. Pat God, humble him. You think that's gonna wait? Nah. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. No, I'm gone. No, I saw the rank at X1. I left immediately. I'm not trying to fight him. I was indeed ordered from on that low level. Yes, but I saw that nigga with the black suit arm. I left. I'm not trying to fight that X1. Bye bye. I don't want to fight that. By the way, block streets. Troy. Block streets. I kind of dislike that game.
Customize your avatar. Get bloodlines through spinning or the RC shot.
So in retaliation, God decides to give all the bananas around the island, which were apparently all slated to be and through the Robert's backstory, we find out that the monsters were using the bananas to feed John Barcelona. And then, along with the rest of the cast, save John and John with the Stupid John Matthew duo. Honestly, this movie was such a surprise to me. I was actually having the best time of my life watching the Stupid of that movie. Also, the environment was pretty cool. Definitely the Stupid to the good. YouTube. As I'm saying, it's a classic together. I literally never even made it to before making this video, and I think that's a good reason why. It's not even a proper reason as to why anybody should watch this movie. I mean, if you see this movie after a bunch of kids, they probably already saw it anyway. Like, I have no idea what this movie even was. Who asked for this? I do not care what happened to this girl, or this guy, or anybody in this movie. The part of the movie is very simple. Girl like toys, girl free toys, girl old toys. Yeah, that's literally it. I mean, besides the main bad guy who's this cowboy guy who I actually kind of movie for, that's all this movie had to offer. You guys remember how the first series movie was about writing free and being independent? This movie literally has spirit from that movie, and I guess it's just the type of some random girl now, even though the movie is literally called Spirit Unchained. But also, I mean, this was sort of expected coming from a Netflix movie adaptation. I mean, you're supposed to look at animation in itself. F you, absolute garbage movie, never watched it. Boss Baby 2 is kind of a pointless movie in my opinion. I mean, even after you watching Boss Baby 1, you can tell that remakes were often considered to be a standalone film, but hey, what do you think? Boss Baby 2 takes place about 30 years or so into the future. You got the adult Boss Baby and adult Tim, and now you're probably thinking, why did all this called Boss Baby 2 if the Boss Baby
that's crazy.
They literally just with some magical girl. I mean, if you seriously think remakes are gonna make a talking about psychic door like that? So the rest of this movie follows as Tim goes to school and his daughters to uncover the truth behind the school's principal, which turns out to be a baby somehow. And it's a kind of promise that to find all the fans to become zombies making a baby revolution. That's a stupid plan. So then the principal baby gets defeated and we get a happy ending. Yeah, this movie was complete garbage. Not only is the main plot for the narrative TV, but the main villain baby was literally quite exciting. And I swear to God, I almost popped the second and watched this movie. Even if you somehow like the first Boss Baby, don't watch it.
Love bad guys.
Thank God for the bad guys. This movie is such a good representation. I cannot even begin to describe how pumped I was when watching this movie after sitting through Boss Baby 2. This movie is overall great. The art style, the animation, even the music all expressed together so well. Anyway, so this movie starts to give the story back off from the bad guys. Starting to kind of love these because their legacy starts to fail. They look at the counter guy who's supposed to be like a really easy philanthropist that they could be. But then at the same time, he's the quick villain and playing the bad guy with just an arrest. And then they get chased by the Simpsons Paul. The character definitely created not only the right protection. The wolf guy and snake guy had a fallen out together, and then the hamster speaks into a snake guy, and the snake guy becomes the hamster, and then the hamster the bad guy goes for the rest of the movie. All in all, this movie was actually really good. Sure, the story was kind of predictable and not really without excitement, especially with the quick villain with their absolute physical environment. And the characters weren't really all in out. The side characters didn't really have enough screen time. But that doesn't really matter to me because this movie was still a fun time. This movie is
Best hero, who's your favorite?
for some reason I have really thought about watching this movie too, so I was really interested for this video. I actually had a chance to watch this movie, but I didn't have that chance to instead. And my God, now I'm completely sure why anyone really wants to edit my 2022 video. Pushing Boost is everything I could have wanted, just most of Pushing Boost. The movie starts with Pushing Boost fighting with bullet guns, featuring animated and story instead of references. I find it amazing that you can tell that whenever the F-Japanese movie drops, you're about to see the most beautiful animation ever to see. Because even though the movie gets motion started with the animation style, it still puts it out so incredibly well. Every single fight scene feels more alive than ever, despite there being nothing different from and honestly, that's fine, because even the 400 FPS 4K quick switch for 15 animation in the first place. I honestly adore this art style so much, and I see so much potential in it as a
Game be trolling me, bro.
after the ball, looking at this front by well, and then you find out that front that fly. And then it's cut to this montage that's supposed to be some questionable activity. So then both looks at this bar and what's called that bar. Well, that was horrifying. Without a doubt, that is now probably my favorite demon villain of all time. Like, it's literally no context. Fact of Death was such a horror-oriented villain, makes it work so well. This man is a literally just a deeper version of Frankie Out. Every scene in this goddamn world is he plays in sometimes super confident and excited. And then Push finds out about the Wicked Star, which is a magical star capable of death in one wish. Push then realizes that he needs to be connected with his lifetime. And then he attempts to steal the master of Wicked Star to the sky called Big Job for him. Although Big is kind of an undertaking for the absolute size of this lab. Push also makes Kitty talk about him. Yeah, remember Kitty talk about the first movie? also just have to further dimension. But then plus some cities being stopped by boarding losses got poison. So then they have this epic fight of them. This eventually reaches the Wicked Star, but then it's timed by death in the duel, to which forcefully accepts his fate and starts fighting. This is the moment that Steven realizes that Force now values life. So he decides to destroy Force. Force then destroys the Wicked Star, and Jack Warner pulls the Terminator and dies, and then they sail off into far, far away. Far, far away. So yeah, that was fucking PS2. Unexpectedly, one of the greatest animated movies I've ever seen in my entire life. The animation is smooth and expressive. The characters were all likable and had development throughout the movie. Aside from Jack Warner, who was just kind of an asshole to everyone who couldn't think about it. I still find it funny how this guy literally secretly shows off his own custom for fun. The guy, this movie, and it is hilarious. Anyways, I feel like I've been talking about this movie for way too long now, so I'm gonna move on. Although my review probably still does not do the movie justice. So just go watch it. I am very delicious. That's true.
I hate teammates cracking.
Probably my longest video I've ever made to post on this channel. Ruby Gilman Teammates Cracker. That is a very long title. Apparently this movie is pretty cool with the Googler seeing that the literally broke the record for being the weakest one in the box office. And looking at the movie theater when I walked in to watch this movie, yeah, I just thought something was very wrong. So the plot of this movie is on the teenage cracker, Ruby Gilman, trying to fit into a high school. He tries to ask off his sport the prom and then it's part of his arm, and as it turns out, he falls into the ocean swimming blood down cracker. Yeah, this is basically the street that entertaining them. In the second half, we learn that Gilman is cracker for attention at war. The second bomb and second giant operation to follow fight. But Pepper can stop reading from the settings. When they drill, they think of it with drilling to try to play. Ruby and her second mom and grandma then decide speaking of the mermaid girl. Ruby goes to prom and the mom and the grandma apologize to each other. But even time can feel a broken relationship. But not the movie performing at the box office. Honestly, this one was also a big disappointment from my opinion. The first few minutes were pretty good. I really did this cool aesthetic they had going on in the city and high school. But then the second half where they do all this random mermaid stuff is kind of slightly to death. Also, the mermaid just feels like kind of awesome and thinking it's something to do with the strategy. I will admit that this movie isn't that bad. It's just not that good music. I think my expectations were just too high after that fucking music. It was, I mean, it did so well now. Why do you feel?
Okay, that's that video. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try and get 10 tails.
That's quite actually but still, it's more fun. It's why we're doing all of these women. Currently, how much is not MMA? Wow, this is one way of employment. I gave $80. That's supposed to 12.93. What's the real question? It's not tough. Look at this snack though from Ray. Well, there's nothing that wrong. I finally the that's right. All the guys are doing my thing was like, what do you make this actually think they're kind of things. For some reason, I kind of like them. That was in your other name. I'll put them as here. I mean, to be fair, they were first. Snack number 2. Peach Black Mountain Dew. Well, the whole bag is in a different language. The only English part is grape citrus flavor. Released for Halloween in 2004. Although, apparently it was re-released in Malaysia because mine expires this year. I paid $20. Okay. A little bit of this. Holy, that actually smells fire. Oh, it's definitely purple. Low-key, this kind of looked fire. And I was excited. Cheers. It's like soda-flavored grape medicine. There's something behind that, but I'm not. See here. Next up, oh, come on. I think I'm literally drooling. Anyway, released on June 6, 2023 for National Churro Day. I paid $8.50. How can chocolate with wafers that is like cinnamon be that? I need this as a candle scent. I need this as a car air freshener. I need this as chapstick. I need this as deodorant.
Man, no, do we already have an S tier? Respectfully, the only thing that can be better, it just needs a little bit more acidity flavor. But this is great, A tier. And just like that, Kit Kat churros. Next up, Minecraft. Out of all the things they could have picked from Minecraft, they picked Suspicious Stew, released in April 2023. I paid $30. Let's give this a shot. Oh, it is like barbecue, but they also are spicy. That's pretty much all I got for you here. B tier. Before we go to the next one, you might remember when I taste tested discontinued food items. The person I bought this from on eBay sent me 5 other brand new bags of guacamole.
Okay, let's go get 10 tails and I need to set back my keylines. And of course my controllers, the D-pad is dog S-word.
Designing Minecraft Suspicious Stew Pringles. Comment down below. Please do not remember Suspicious Stew, sir. And recognize television. For the people who are trying to remember the video, last episode, this is download I'm kind of excited. How do y'all explain to you? And were made for the people who live for the video. I paid $150. I think it's just for the new lenses, but still, they also expired 5 years ago. Let's talk about Twinkies do go bad. Do you want to know how
I don't think it's supposed to make that sound.
I'm good. I didn't really get anything from that. Twinkies, unfortunately, they're inedible. Again, you're disqualified. But how about? I have people eat this. It looks like cat food.
I know it's on the big mountain for sure.
It smells like Christmas cat food. Yummy. Maybe it'll be just fine. How is this possible? But I kind of like it. Next up, I saw Maple Syrup Pepsi. I'm excited for this one. Released in March 2022. I paid $60. This better be good. Cool. Oh, beautiful color. Food.
This is where Renshiki is. I know that.
Oh, a little bit. Okay.
Not a shiver Kuma.
I took the stairs. That's maple syrup. Yeah, that's great. I'm not gonna lie. But again, the same problem I had with the Kit Kat, not that much maple. I'm putting in an A, but Kit Kat stays. How about everything maple with cream cheese? They say never judge a food by its flavor, or something like that. But I'm sorry. How did we get to this point? Released in April 2024. I paid $21. Also, a side note, this thing has half of your daily sodium in one cup. Let's try this out. We'll put that in there. Next up, mustard Shindo. Now that might sound weird, but it's even weirder when you add hanging ketchup to it. I paid $75. Let's try mustard first. Oh, wow, that's strong. That just assaulted my nose. They look okay. Oh, wow. They really made it taste like mustard. Not great. Maybe ketchup will be a little better.
Now I gotta search up what a 10 tails is. What the
Mixing anything that makes barbecue chips good. Ketchup gets a C, mustard gets a C.
How about Sour Patch Kids Chips Ahoy cookies? Sour cookies do not sound good. Released in May of 2020. Okay. I paid $90.
Welcome to another video, guys. So we tweet right like that. The corner, pause, scroll.
So, how much water in your frog bathtub is too much to stand? Stop getting crazy. Just make you worry something creepy come up through the drain. That's not right. But whatever you can do something about it, I'm what you do about it. I'm Green Goblin. I'm leak free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed. Only you keep worrying about some freaky shower. Green Goblin. Let the Goblin get it. Does not smell like cookies at all. So, purely little Sour Patch Kids.
Not excited about this one. Wow, those are a lot better than I expected them to be. So, they're kind of just the food. They're kind of, I think I'm going to have to put it at easier. How about I pop Rudy to refreshing fruity strawberries?
I for sure know this is where Gen 3 is. Yeah.
Who I expect is actually going to buy this and eat it. Released in February. I really don't know how I feel about this. But regardless, I still have to. Let's get popping. That's my new slogan for this. Let's get shopping. And I'm done with that. It's like a completely random assortment of terrible. Next up, grilled cheese and tomato soup. Released in March of 2024. I paid $21. And I guess you could say this item is a classic meal for me with it's simply good. Mixed soup. But
Here it is. Here it is.
for premium soup, 1 can of milk. 1 can of milk? I'm going to try it. Not only does it feel wrong, but it also smells wrong. There was a very strange odor coming out of this thing. Yeah, my hopes of this being good is down the drain. Here we go. Honestly, it doesn't taste much. Maybe some artificial cheese in it. It's not bad, but it's kind of bad. A little bit disappointing. That's important. Next up, now this one.
No way you're finna get ready to attack me already, blood.
2022, and only 1,000 of the somehow I only paid $60. What's about to the end of this? 2, 4. Two Ritz and an Oreo. I'm about to cry right now. My eyes are actually tearing. I'm so excited. Please, make this an actual thing. If these were in the Oreo, please, I Now these are a collector item right here. Released on April 8th, 2004 at exactly 1:33 p.m. These chips were available for 4 minutes and 27 seconds. The exact length of the solar eclipse. Only 100 of them exist, and I paid $150 for them. These were you really should have called them food. I'm sorry. Solar eclipse stick. Checking that thing out. What is this, a picnic party? Presentation. 10 out of 10. That said, there's only one thing that actually matters. How? It's the cosmic collision of pineapple habanero and black bean spicy Gouda. I almost feel bad opening this because of how collectively it is. I know what's fun. Okay. good right there. That's good. Oh man, this is awesome. In one corner is Hungary. In the other corner, we have Rick and Oregon. The winner of this video. I have to do it. Oregon wins this. One, I can only make money from my side hustle. Two, I can only work from 9 to 5. And 3, each day of the week, I must start my next side hustle. And the third, dumpster diving. You know, this video was a fun idea in theory, but not. Reports were made of an ear and on 2 legs and then
No, that's 99. That's 99 nights in the forest, and I don't want to be spoiled. Sorry, Fusion.
They just released a demo, and apparently we are only going to ship at midnight, but there's anomalies or these random creatures coming in. We gotta figure out. Oh my god, I've said this intro so many times, I cannot say that word. I'm telling you, it's like my 20th time.
Alright, we can get it. Let's see.
This is the new horror game where apparently an evil nun is chasing after us. You guys know this is the movie, alright? It's an evil nun, and apparently it's the game based off of that.
2, 3. Oh, that sucked. What about 4? 5. Oh, okay, but I'm gonna go crazy. Alright. E-spec. Okay, I summon him. I need to take that off. Alright, Z-spec. Alright, it's like a body-tailed B-spawn. Where have you been? Nobody don't do me like you. You know, don't you?
This is literally my house. Oh my god, all it's missing. Why can I try that door? Alright, what do we got in the fridge? Is that English? That cannot be English. I don't know what that says. Organic can.
Alright, what is Q do? I mean, it's I. That does that, and E summons the beast. And you can aim it. Alright, well, forget about that. Yeah, we're gonna go. Wait, first, I'm going to save this. Save as moveset 2. Load the grinder! Yes, sir. Oh, gang, where have you been? Nobody don't know. I forgot his spell.
I know Via More is like my love, right? I think. So my love infinitely. Can you do something, dude? Come out right now. Do it. I dare you. Come on, tweet first. I dare you. She's hiding. Oh, you got a note. Okay. This is in. Did I accidentally put this? Oh, okay, translation. Dr. Mr. Mathias. Prior to wake up the sudden power outage, I regret to inform you that until the present date, we weren't able to identify the root cause. I know you should be helpful to your family.
Oh, okay.
Another investigation. It was a professional
Nobody love me like you do, girl. Ain't nobody love me like you do. Ain't even been around it, even been inside it.
Consecutive failures in resolving the matter. I'm afraid we're running out of time. Sincerely, Francisco Emmanuel. All right, cool. Thanks, Francisco. I appreciate that, buddy. She's still in there? I'll help you. Don't worry. I'll get you out of there. I promise. Okay, there's nothing here. Maybe there's another note. I really want to know what this says. It's something about pizza. Oh, what? Research scrap B. What? I found a research scrap. Another note. Read. Translate. Dear parent or guardian, first question is Clara Hernandez Hoffman, and over 9th grade, class 200, was suspended for the period of 7 days. Counted from 1909. Dang, 1909, that's a long time ago. Due to violent behavior against another student, which represents a serious violation. We'd like to request that the parents go for
Dang, I'm sorry. Don't. Block. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold block for that game. I don't even know how to counter that. Bit it up. Okay, can't do that yet. Yeah, load simple domain expansion in. Simple domain, please. We canceled it. Nice. Okay, and now run away. Gang, I'm going to die. Spikes. That I'm too far. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, block. I need to hold block for this, even though I'm still gonna take damage.
Ooh, see if we free her.
Okay.
And then get her back from the devil.
What am I doing? Run, 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 run.
Let me see if they try to do Matthias? Matthias? In high school? This one. At a research site. History diploma, University of
Let's see if those will hit. Yes, sir. Look at that. Dead. Let's go. Oh wait, scroll drop. A scroll dropped. I don't even know what scroll dropped.
I don't like talking. Still in there. Wait, what if I zoom in on her? Dude, she has to do something. Oh, let me zoom in on you. Picture of a young teen. I can't read the description. Picture of Matthias and Clara. Happy time. What's this one? Picture of...
Wow. Yeah, so how are you gonna... Okay, buddy. So, that's basically useless right now.
What's that white dot on the right side of my screen? Oh,
so, fastest way to grind. I'm about to go to Mount Maki.
For sure that would do something. Alright, well, metallic remains engraved in the wall suggest a metal cross used to go here. I'll find it. Look, there's one here too. Looks like there were things behind this wall. Maybe
Actually, nah. Yeah. I'm gonna just grind for the form for Eisen, or at least the first move. Then I'm sleep.
Across with elaborated tips used to go here. There's remains of wood in these marks. A cross of this material used to go. Okay, so you just want all right, buddy. I get it. You need like 55 crosses, my guy. I don't know where you want me to find them. Look at how many you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 crosses, buddy. I think that's maybe we just go 1. I don't know. Oh, who's this? What? What was that little magic?
Welcome to Shindo.
Let's see what this is. Anyone has an ocularized array of reading things. Someone tells you, oh, we can read it. I'll be late. What is it? I was wondering what that was. I don't understand. Zoom in on it. That's what's going over there. Hold on. I'm trying to see the thing. Cross! Let's go. Twin cross. Boom. Bop. Bam. Got it. There it is. I knew it was one of those. Okay, that's nice. What's that? So, you want me to find the other? She's still down there. Is this open? No. Alright, let's have a look around.
I tell you what, I like you, and I want you. Now, we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way.
Yo, who sick it is?
You can't have my booty. Oh, yeah, I can. The booty is mine.
Who sick it
You
is?
cannot take my booty. The booty is mine. It belongs to me. You
send me this.
What's behind this? It's more like drawing things.
A few moments later.
Hi, bro. My girlfriend just left, bro. I need you.
Oh my god! He got him titled! Do something.
Wait, we're approaching. I'll get you out there, but not yet. Okay, stay in there for now. Stay in there. If I
Ahem. Where have you been? Nobody don't know me. You do not know about. Now I'm going this.
scary when I can eventually open that. I know that. Okay, zoom in. Anything? Ooh, another one of these boxes. Oh, this guy.
Actually, I could just sit on this thing. Yeah.
So we're still in the cross.
I'm finna just sit on here the whole night, guys.
Wi-Fi right link for work and was visibly elevated.